to fill everyone in on where we last left off. We had some drunken fools waking up in the morning at the Honey Pot Inn, nursing their hangovers, as well as, well, I guess you could call her their babysitter for the night, as Persephone was there in the morning at least.
I was there, sure.
In the morning. That evening, however, she did have a place to sleep that wasn't her own bed as per usual. And a poor innocent to Sully, who wasn't as innocent as she thought at first, and actually rocked the fuck out of her world.
I wrote it in my notes.
Yes,
guys.
You might want to get tested.
It's in her personal diary.
You're done.
And then we had Patch and Leon, who had spent the night out on the roof of the Kyver's council hall building, their council chambers. And then Leon attempted to make an appointment with the Count himself and was relegated to, well, as soon as we can get you in is like 2 weeks from now. And he tried to do a little bribery and persuasion, only to get, okay, now, we don't do that kind of ill-gotten stuff here. So he
do, by the way.
He elected to go with, all right, well, who can I see now? And was told that he could meet with Councilman Antoinette.
Yes.
So that would be the next day, which it is now the next day. So currently, and I can't remember, you guys didn't head back to the Honey Pot Inn.
No, they camped on the roof.
They
Yeah,
camped
they slept
again
on the
for
roof
like
like
a
a
second.
Basically hugging his
No, we
ankles right now because
Oh,
he
for
has
that
something,
one night.
he has something important of mine.
Well, all right.
So hugging his ankles at the moment.
Yeah, and then I left tea for him and them.
Yep.
And his.
And then you were going to head off to the Church of Shemlo.
Shimlo.
So, that is pretty much where we are right now. You two are still at the Honey Pot Inn.
Yep.
Tomer is on his way to the Church of Shemlo, and you two just finished talking to the receptionist at the Kyber Council Chambers.
This is the morning?
This is the morning. And you finished setting up an appointment then for the next day with Councilman Antoinette.
Yeah. So it is not the next.
No, it is this morning.
Yeah.
You stayed
The
the
next
night, and then in the morning is when you went up and you had your...
No. It was, I thought it was.
No,
the,
that's
no, it was the
correct.
Night. No,
It is
that's
correct.
No,
That's
that's
correct.
right.
That's correct.
So that's where everyone is right now.
Oh, yeah, 'cause they were closed.
So,
Well,
what do
my
you guys
leg
want to
is
do?
so itchy, and I'm wearing joggers, so it's not like I can't roll it up high enough to get the itch. But otherwise, I have to reach like most of the way down my pants to get this itch, and it's so itchy.
You should have worn joggers.
Holy
But they're so
oversharing,
comfy.
I'm
Batman.
going to have you roll for that.
Jeez, Persephone.
So
Yeah.
Persephone's doing some weird stuff in bed.
That's
guess
so
so.
itchy.
I'm gonna be a man of
Persephone
God.
had a fun night and now she has an itch.
So we'll go around the table to see what everyone is doing at this time. So, Gold.
Left you some tea.
Obviously, I need the more drink the tea.
Tea.
Despite my reluctance, I will clean myself up and get dressed to go finish off our quest and talk to the elven hider.
Okay.
And I'll invite Percy to come along since she has a daughter in a bottle.
Also, I was already in your room because you were being a whiny bitch.
Exactly.
That is true.
But that is what we will.
Okay.
Or I can't think. It's what I'm
I
doing.
mute the fuck out so I know.
Going for round 2 with Jonathan.
She's
Could
gotta
be.
work.
He's just in bed smoking a cigarette.
Could be.
I knew you'd come back.
No, shut the door and grab the roll.
He's got like a super ego now.
You fuck one
That's right, I fucked a
tiefling.
demon.
Now I'm ready to fuck the world.
All right. So you're all cleaned and dressed and fed. You've gotten some breakfast, and you guys are going to head out towards Eknot and Lord Valoris's estate.
Yep.
Okay.
Question: who has the vampire head? That's inconvenient.
Oh no, I guess we have to get the party back together.
Oh no!
Did you mention where you were going publicly?
No, I know where he is.
We may be a.
Yeah,
oh,
she
yeah,
does.
sure.
She did
Did you need Leon?
Oh, that's highly convenient that we're stalking him.
I thought you guys had gotten some other proof that.
I
we have
have
a
a
daughter
genie in a bottle. Yeah.
Well, throwing a monster into a room with an elven high lord is probably not a great idea.
I never said I was
Right.
gonna open the bottle. I just said I have her in the bottle.
Here you go.
Take my word for it. This is
Yeah.
your daughter. This
Never
is a
open
water
this
skin.
bottle.
You're welcome to open it, but that's on you.
It's gonna cost you extra.
If
So-
I could save Genie Daughter
Alright.
in a bottle.
I did what I could, man.
Remember
So
her
you know
before.
where,
Roll performance at disadvantage.
so you know where Leon is?
Yeah, I know where Leon is.
Well, lead the way. We need that vampire head to prove that we did anything. Because otherwise we have no proof of the daughters.
Taking a horse though. I'm not walking.
Alright.
Just walking at like normal walking speed with everyone else, but you're just on the horse.
I'm taking a horse. Whether anyone else does or not, that's not my problem. I'm taking a horse.
I probably want to get there quickly as well,
Yeah.
so we would both take a horse.
Okay. So you guys get on a horse and start making your way up towards Northgate to where the council chambers are that you saw Leon and Tash at the night before. So while you're making your journey up there, you're heading over towards the closest Church of Shamrock.
The exact one that he went to before. That my old compatriot went to.
Yep, where Ajax had taken you before.
Yep.
It takes a little bit of time because it is down near the bowl. So you have to make your way over there, and that's a good 45-minute walk. But, you know, you're kind of going with a purpose, and you make it there in time, and...
This
Don't
looks
do
really
that.
suspicious
Okay.
from this angle.
Okay.
Just
Yeah, that's a distraction. Okay.
Smell your fingers.
Oh, so now that I'm
freaking had to, bro!
No.
That was a perfect setup.
I'm freaking
Please
out.
go
dude.
on.
Okay, continuing on. So you finally arrive there. You guys will arrive shortly over at the council chambers, but you do make it to the temple before they
No.
get up to the council chambers.
Yep.
And as you saw before, the main front doors are open. You know, it's inviting people in. It's a nice temple, but it's not huge. But as you kind of walk in, you do see there are, you know, pews out to the sides, a nice pathway up the middle leading up towards the main altar, and there are a few people sitting in the pews, praying, you know, talking to each other, and there are some acolytes of the church that seem to be kind of going around attending things, and what looks like the head priest of this church seems to be up near the altar doing some kind of busy work, lighting some candles, arranging things up there.
I'm gonna go towards him.
As you walk in, you are approached by one of the acolytes first before you get halfway up the main row, and it's a small halfling man. He looks at you and he says, "Hello, what could I do for you?"
I need to speak to the high priest. A friend of mine who recently passed yesterday was a follower of Shimlo and
Oh.
praised him. We buried him properly according to the burial rites, but I did promise to carry his weapon on forth, and I just need a few questions answered.
Okay. One moment. And he turns around and, you know, his short little legs take him up towards the altar. Takes himself up to the altar, kind of tugs on the hem of the robe of the high priest, who turns around and looks at him. And there's some whispered comments back and forth. You can't quite hear the ways back. And then he makes his way back. And he says, the high priest is busy right now, but if you wouldn't mind having a seat and waiting a few moments, he may be just a couple minutes longer. He will come see you.
That's perfect. I'll take see.
Excellent. Is there anything else I can do for you in the meantime?
Do you members of Shimlo have like a prayer book or something that I can read just to learn a little bit more about Shimlo?
Pamphlet.
Basically.
Yes, let me share with you the teachings of our Savior Shimlo.
Ship the Bibles and
I'll listen to everything he has to say.
Yeah, and he actually does go and pulls out two different things. One is looks like about 20 sheets of parchment, kind of put together and bound with twine. So not really like an official book, but as you kind of look through it, it looks like hymns. And then the other thing that he hands you is basically like a pamphlet. It's not very large, but it is some basic prayers that they obviously give out to people that are interested in learning about Shemlo and would like to pray to Shemlo but don't know how. So it's really just a sheet of paper, one, but it's front and back, and it has 3 different prayers on it. And it just kind of walks you through what words to say, when to kneel, how you're supposed to hold your hands, that kind of stuff, that someone new to a religion wouldn't necessarily know right away.
Alright, I'll go over some of the prayers once he leaves me by myself. I'll just go over to the prayers and just do a prayer for Ajax. Hopefully everything went well.
All right, excellent. Okay, so you go ahead and do that. While you're busy doing that, a few minutes later in time, Persephone and Gold arrive at the council chamber.
Well, Gold, this is the spot I saw Leon last.
Just as you two are walking out of the double doors that are open down the main steps, which, in fact, I would like to as well give a little view of this to everybody.
Hey, look, your friends showed up. Conveniently timed.
Wow. It's a game.
Like magic!
That was one very long talk we had.
Yeah. I remember
Well,
the
that's
part about the
good.
grapefruit.
Wait, what?
Right down to
Hmm.
here. And then we'll add papers.
Papers of what?
I think I have them in the bag, don't I?
No, I took them.
There we go.
Yeah, I think he's had him for a while, actually.
Okay. And right now, Tomer is actually not here, so I
The
am
church
just
is
going to
upside
hide him.
down.
Well, it's not the church. This is the council
The
building.
council building's upside down.
This is
Yeah,
the
that's
council
what it's like to
building.
sit on that side, man.
Big Ben fucking
Fuck with your
exploded.
mind.
I gotta make the joke every time.
So this is the council building where
World. We're in
Patch,
Australia?
Patch and Leon have just exited, and Gold and Persephone have just kind of pulled
I
on.
don't see my horse. I'm totally kidding.
Immersion broken.
Worst D&D game.
Everything's fucked.
I had to write my questions.
Shattered.
Oh shit, I have a horsey.
Oh, my immersion is restored.
Best
Boom,
D&D
there's your
game
horse.
Guys, I got a horse.
Immediately winning.
Its name is Buttercup.
My little buttercup.
Did we ever actually name our horses?
Nope.
Nope.
Oh, well, that sucks.
Did you name the horse that you always
Have
take?
you not learned? You should never name your horses in D&D because they will always die.
Yep, that's why we never
As
do
soon as you name them, they will
He's
die.
done so well.
And here
for
comes a
me
giant
so
eagle
far.
to kill the horse.
His name is Horse.
Yes.
I mean, that's what I've been calling him, yeah.
All right. So yeah, this is where you find yourself out front of the council chambers.
Well, hey boys.
Oh, hello again.
Hello, Persephone. Hello, not Gold, because you're not there.
He's a strong silent tech right now. He's been like this all morning.
Something must have happened.
Always
Yeah,
knows
I
just
know.
what to say.
I don't know. I don't get it.
I wonder what could be making him so gloomy.
Fucking cried the whole way over here.
What a bitch.
Oh, you guys are not very nice to your friends.
None of this is canon.
Immersion destroyed.
Percy being an asshole is, but
Oh yes.
You know.
That-
Say
that
cannon.
definitely is. That's a cannon right here.
what's the plan? What are we doing?
I think he was trying to set up a meeting with the council person.
For tomorrow.
Alright. Sounds like Gold here wants head.
Well, you best return it if that's the case.
Drop off the head.
You'll have to talk to him about that. I don't give a shit.
Why are we dropping a head off? Why are you guys dropping a head off? I should ask.
So
Hey, don't lose your head.
we're supposed to go turn in a quest, and to clarify, whose head is it?
The vampire bitch's head.
Oh, so it's not even the daughter.
No.
Oh.
That'd be a little dark.
Well, no, I thought that's what. I was like, oh my god.
No, it's the
I was
governess's head.
asshole.
It's a governess's head.
Okay, so sorry, I missed
Are
that.
you guys on some sort of mission?
Oh.
Oscar just became
I'm
Zach.
so
Wait.
glad you're stopped
Whoa.
to being the strong
What
silent
if
type,
Oscar
Bull.
and Zach are the
Yes,
same
I have
person?
very
We
much
haven't
to
seen them
say.
You've never
We're
seen him in the same room. I mean,
Oh,
Oh shit.
what a twist!
I had to
Chat-
gather my thoughts.
Chat believes in you, Leon.
thank you,
Oh.
Chad.
That's what.
Chat.
I'm Chat, by the way.
Yes.
He's Chad.
No, that was
Chad.
almost out of lollipop. So
Oh.
Chat believes in you.
Yay! Thank
What
you.
a Chad.
Alright.
What a
Alright, well, I
Chad.
bought you advantage.
Alright, well, so
Puppy.
let's go. What we came here to do a talk? Let's do a talk.
Yeah, let's.
Were you all in some kind of mission that involved bringing that head back?
I genuinely don't think so, but I don't know.
Alright, so when we recovered you, Hatch,
Mm-hmm.
we were dealing with 3 creatures of unknown origin.
Oh, I know the origin.
Demonic origin.
That one.
Yeah, they were assholes.
And an old friend of ours.
Well, just so you know, to you, you only really saw them as 3 fairly attractive, young,
They were hot
no,
assholes.
noble elven women.
They were
They-
three
they
fairly
were-
attractive, noble elven women.
They, I mean, they were definitely
That's what the DM
slumming it up.
said.
They were definitely slumming it up. They were a little bit skanked
They were
out
going through
because
a
of the drugs and
phase.
shit.
I'm
But
pretty sure they were whores.
Ah, then they will die by my sword all
my
the same.
people.
Nothing weird about them specifically.
Leon, do you need the vampire head for your meeting with
So
the
who
council?
beat the shit out of
Right,
just the
so we're
vampire?
going to get to that.
oh no! The 3 girls did,
Oh, that's
as well
rude.
as the vampire
They weren't
and-
even transformed. They just beat me up in their frail human form.
and the demon.
Elf.
Well, they
Oh, that's
they
even worse.
they got transformed by the ritual, so that it wasn't like they were hiding their forms. They were just human or just elves.
So just a bunch of frail elf women
Bunch
beat
of
the shit out of
bitches.
me.
Frail
Kicking
elf,
your ass.
well, frail elf women,
And the vampire.
a vampire, and someone that looked like a human, but turned out to be.
They just have
a
me
demon.
surrounded. Like, ow, stop!
Fight back! Fight back!
It just kept hitting the cute little bunny.
Just
Alright.
pushing him in the circle.
Yeah.
I'm like, please.
So, about that. I take it you need proof to verify with the 3 lords' houses.
I pull out my daughter in a bottle.
More solid proof, which is why Persephone's asked for the head in the first place. All I ask is that if I give it to you, I have it back with this negotiation that I liked.
How long till your negotiation?
It's only tomorrow. We have an entire day.
Sure. That's fine. I don't plan on giving it away.
What if they want to take it as, like, for revenge or something?
That is...
That's not his prerogative. Quest never said I had to give him anything.
I am forced to take your word for that, as I have no idea what the quest was.
This is the con of being a new player.
Well, is it that your character is on with Leon because of the vampire head, or is it something
I
else?
have
Or it's the root?
He took my root.
I just said, yoink, bitch!
Well,
And that's all right, I guess. You all
Well-
seem like nice people, but I will need that back.
Who else has a root? You and you? Is that it?
Yeah, I know. Longer
He has
than mine.
his. I have our personal stash in the bag.
It seems pretty
You got a
important to
stash
y'all,
now?
but it's
Shit.
also important to
Not a
me.
big
But
stash.
if y'all don't mind, I may tag along while you try to figure out what's going on with it.
Well, Leon, if your meeting is until tomorrow anyway, why don't you just come with us?
I suppose I could, I just don't. I want to keep eyes on this place.
Okay.
So, you can go ahead without me, if that's alright.
That's fine.
And, invisible.
Just fucking bloody burlap sack with a
Yeah,
vampire
that's
head
pretty
on
much it, yeah.
A couple flies or
So you got
something
yeah,
right now.
you
Hold
got,
on, press the digitation.
yeah, you got an undead head. You got night hag in a bottle.
Well, and the funny thing is,
You gotta do it the
before
right
I
way.
had it, so it's double undead now.
And would you mind if I had my my root sample back. You can see it again when you need it, but I'd much prefer to
I want to hold on to it like
hang
precious.
on to it.
I suppose that's fine.
Watching Zach squirm from sketches.
Even though I can't defend myself from frail elf women.
Who said
Andrew.
It is my precious, and no one will take it from me.
Look, I'm pretty sure they took jujitsu classes.
They all got trained by monks.
So they're like at least 100 years old, right? I mean, they probably had some time, you know.
A woman's got to defend herself nowadays in this world.
They all had pepper spray. Fuck!
And it's just them
I didn't even do
crushing up,
anything to you.
It's just them crushing up peppers and putting it in a bottle and just
All right.
From Shrek, where they have the.
Patch, was it?
Yes.
Um,
Did I get your name yet?
yes, you did get my name. It's Gold.
Ah.
Your testimony may actually be helpful in this case, as you are an outsider.
All right.
So, you want to come with us to the Elven High Lord?
Sure, absolutely.
I
So
like
y'all-
it's just so helpful.
You all seem to know a lot about the root as well, or at least you came across that way when you talked about it. That's more progress than I've made in my entire time searching so far. So, like I said, if you all don't mind me sticking around to see if I could find out more.
I certainly don't mind you hanging around, but you got to give yourself a little more credit. You got to
Yeah,
them
you got
before
beat
we
up by
got to
women
us.
real good.
Yeah, I found him.
You did find him before we did, so.
would you call it a hair crime?
What?
Okay, we're instituting a new rule. If you make a really, really bad pun, you gotta roll percentile. If you get a 69,
You win.
that's bad news for you.
55.
Okay.
Pat, what does that mean?
I get to do something really evil, is what it means.
Let's go to 6.
However, if I make a really, really bad
He's gonna
pun,
Takashi 69.
I
Oh
have-
no!
I have to roll a
Oh,
percentile.
no.
And if I get a 69, then something really, really good's gonna happen to y'all.
Quick, bad
I
puns.
thank Klein for that, because my fellow Tailspire Collaborative build streamer, Klein, that's something he does in his games, and we kind of do it on the build stream every once in a while. So, yeah, why not? I'm just throwing that in there because that really bad.
Burgers, someone else's foot on the
So, are we off to see the wizard, or?
You know, I don't know if that helps, but sure, we're off to see him anyway.
Okay. So, you three take off. Are you going to join them, or are you just waiting around?
Just vibing.
Okay.
Guess we'll catch up with you later.
On my horse will ride over. I wanted to talk to the bunny.
He's right there. Talk.
How?
Kind of side eye, like you're a demon.
I don't
So-
trust
I just got the shit kicked out of me by those.
Yeah, they're also chicks, so you know, looking good for ya. So what do you know about the root so far?
I know it poisoned my village of people. I found the source of it, but I don't know a whole lot past that.
And what village are you from?
Oh my god.
Is it the same one as the
No,
zombies?
no.
Okay, that was the one I was. If it's not that, I'm shit.
Well, I can't remember the one, but it's also, I've written it in my head that it's also partially hidden back in the woods, so I'm probably not going to share that with you immediately. I'm going to give the general location, though, which it's the...
But it's not the zombie one, so that's all.
No.
All right.
It's off in the woods. Was it...
World map?
Hold on.
Yeah, we got world
You
map
got,
up
you
here.
got
if
world
want
map
that.
right there.
Handy
I have
dandy.
to remember. It's been a couple weeks. What did we agree on? Was it below Corstal?
No, it's... Hold on. I'm pulling up the map right now so I can...
Is it
Sorry,
in
I
the Bay
didn't mean
Area?
to ask such hard
No,
questions.
it needed to be done because I needed to remind myself as well, and I actually completely
But
forgot.
you're from there!
Yeah,
I
it's
just
been
hit
a minute. He
The
got his
elf
head
girls hit
knocked
my
in.
head really hard. I forgot everything about myself.
Who am I?
I am an enigma.
My name is Ajax Windspark.
I love it when it opens up on the wrong screen. I'll be right back. I gotta see the other screen.
I'm from somewhere in a forest.
Ah, yes, Forest Town.
I
mean,
hail
is
from
that-
forest land.
Placeholder name here.
So now that we don't have a DM, let's give ourselves a bunch of OP equipment, like 10
Alright,
million.
everybody, roll for initiative as Asmodeus takes the field.
Oh no!
Guys,
I actually
that's the
got
horse.
24.
If you got anything lower than a 38, you are last.
Oh,
Asmodeus,
okay.
cat. Oh shit, he's back.
So who's got the boots of spider
Yeah.
climbing?
So you got a partner.
I got a friend down there. Hey, Clem.
So what? Do you know
Okay.
nothing about it, or just it poisoned your village?
I know it has bad side effects.
Yes.
Okay.
Hangover.
So, to answer the question, because you would know this, it's just whether or not you want to reveal everything. The city you're from is on the continent of Yotris.
Ah,
And
okay.
it is in the north,
The wooded part in the middle, or above the mountain?
above.
Okay. I'm
In
down with
fact, right. You're from right there.
The continent of the Eotris.
Yeah, and that's the city of Shropton.
Yeah, I'm gonna give you a general kind of location, but
Fair
not
enough.
anything.
So
Specific.
what exactly happened in your village? Obviously they were.
It was an incurable sickness. It just kept getting worse.
All the way on the continent of Yotris, you came across this route.
I've come a long way.
We came across it in insert town here.
Placeholder name.
You came across it in Woodhurst.
Kyber? No,
You see
Woodhurst.
that black dot?
No, I'm blind.
Yeah, well, it's because it doesn't have a name on the map.
Ah,
But Woodhurst, yes.
we came across
South
it.
of Kyber.
In
Woodhurst.
Came
North
across
of Kyber.
I should have figured
I'm
out my
standing
details a
south.
little bit.
Imstead was where you
Better.
met the governors.
I should have known I'd be
it.
questioned.
No,
Woodhurst
that's where
is-
we're at right now, isn't it?
No, Kyber's where you're at right
I
now.
gotta use my brain this
Oh, yeah.
session, and this is probably the worst day for me to use my
So
brain
many
because
fucking
I'm
names.
so groggy.
That's what notes are
I got it.
Ugh.
It don't matter when I'm trying to roleplay on the spot.
for.
Yeah.
So is your village alright, or like is it
I-
fucked, or?
It's getting that way. The goal is to help it not be
Yeah, I was
fucked.
like, are you looking for a cure, or are you looking on a revenge situation?
a cure.
I don't
Is there
think we should
someone
pry
causing this?
quite as much.
I'm prying as much as I damn well please.
Is there a specific person causing this?
We don't know.
Person? Probably not.
A demon, probably.
It's yeah.
I'm just
It's,
looking for a cure.
It's a demonic root, alright.
I think that'd be more than I would know at that point.
Oh, yeah.
That's
You
why
did
I'm
not
giving
know
you
that.
information. Do you
Oh.
want your details or not,
More
sir?
demons.
Yeah.
That would explain the demons in the basement. Oh, thank
Yeah.
God,
Yes,
thank
it
God.
will.
I'm guessing that one that well, I probably wouldn't. The guy, I didn't see him at the end. The human. I'm
Yeah.
guessing he was tied into this.
Well, he wasn't.
Well, they must have
human.
all been tied into it. They were there.
He appeared as human.
Well, not for very long.
I didn't see that part.
Oh, I know. I'm informing you. He wasn't.
Let me guess. A demon.
Ding, ding, ding.
You're goddamn
I'm detecting a demon.
Boy, I'll tell you more.
Tell you what.
Tell you what.
Dang it,
Alright,
Bobby!
well, I did my roleplay for today, guys.
Goddamn fucking demons!
So you're continuing to travel now towards Eknot to get towards Lord Floris's estate, as well as speak to Lord Bragas and Lord Marcus eventually. While that's going on, it's only a few minutes, and then the High Priest does make his way over where you are seated and says, "How can I help you, child?"
Well, I would call a brother of mine passed away yesterday, a follow of yours. Remember anyone by the name of Ajax? He came around here to help once or twice.
Ajax, yes. Very large, interesting looking fellow.
Yeah, he,
Quite interesting as you are yourself.
yep, I'm gonna get that a lot. But he passed away yesterday and we buried him properly towards the rites of Shimlo.
As one who shines in Shemlo's light, I'm sure his soul appreciates that.
Yeah, I do have a few questions. So, I've made a vow on his grave in blood to carry on his torch and to continue the path that he was following. And that's why I carry this, and I show them the all. And I say, I don't know what's been going on, but it's been glowing in my hands or heating up. I don't know if you could have any explanation about that, or...
May I?
Yeah.
He takes it from you. It's quite heavy, and well, he's, not one who goes out and does a lot of heavy lifting. So you can see it's a little bit of a strain, but he takes it. And he turns around. He walks over to the altar. He sets it down on the altar, and he begins going through some ritual. It takes a little bit of time as he's going through. About 10 minutes or so later, he says, I've asked questions of, what shall we say, Shenmou's agents. As Shenmou does not typically answer questions directly herself.
She wants a chick.
I was a dude. Well, I guess you never specified. Shimla.
What's up, mommy?
Under mommy?
Yeah.
She got
And
thunder thighs.
He says, it's interesting. Out of the questions I asked, the answers I got, what you have here currently
If you swing it, it hurts.
if you swing it, it will come. What?
To put it bluntly.
Shut!
You know what you have to do. Roll. No percentile.
27.
We both
Get out, Wayne. You get nothing. You lose.
Good day,
sir.
You know, might not get a great
Where
day,
is
little
it?
dad. Get
I
in
know
there.
I need it, and I saved
She
it. I
low.
just can't find it.
I'll drink to that.
I know why.
Tired game.
Give me a moment. Sorry for the delay, folks.
I was
I'm tired because I'm useless.
Be nice to yourself.
Useless guy.
You gonna go to a wedding tomorrow?
Yep, wedding tomorrow. Oh, that is another announcement I need to make while I'm
Oh,
looking.
that's right, your other thing.
At 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tomorrow, I will be doing a live interview with Aegis, the director of RPG Stories. So if you've got questions about RPG Stories, what kind of features it is, what the features look like, all that kind of stuff, well, I'm going to be doing a live interview with him, and as part of that, we are going to be showing in the background RPG Stories, the current iteration of it, and looking at some of the interesting features and things like that, and asking questions about those, and talking about that kind of stuff. And you guys can ask your questions in the chat so that we can ask him about them. Alright, hold on. I'm going to have to jump to here just to see something. That's why I won't show up. No wonder. There we go. There it is.
See.
Okay. No, I need to do something. Okay, so he tells you, apparently, this weapon, you have to attune to it. And the only way to do that is to spend 2 hours meditating under Shenmou's gift.
May I do that here? If it pleases Shenmou.
I forget you are new. Shenmou's gift is the storm. doing so, the weapon will awaken. And once you attune to it, you'll be able to understand its true nature.
Oh,
How would you
weather
check the
veil.
weather?
Look.
Any
I
druids around?
I actually
the
have
only-
something that could help.
Yeah,
with
the only
that.
druid that we have is freaking away. I was like, I might have an idea for that. Well,
Artificially create a strong call lightning.
I also had another question.
Yes.
In contacting and praying to Shimlo, is there any way that I could make a better connection with my past brother through the prayer of Shimlo?
As your faith grows, with Shemla, your connection with one of her chosen will sure also. It
Do you
depends
force
on your
use?
level of devotion. So,
Well, I appreciate everything you've done for me here.
With Latin
I
control.
give him a small pouch of 30 gold to the Temple of Shimlo for your
Rich.
devotion.
Small
He-
one of a million.
yeah, small one of a million. Small one of, hey, let's pay your taxes for the entire year.
Churches don't pay taxes.
Well, this is not a 501c3. Shemlo is an upstanding citizen. They pay taxes.
I say, in the development of this such a holy place that means so much to me now as it did to my past.
Would you, in pursuit of your connection with your friend, would you consider study tutelage?
Most likely.
Then you may call anytime. And if I am available, I will provide what I can.
Would you have some time today just to begin at some point?
Always have time for one seeking to learn the faith.
Let us begin.
Follow me. And he leads you up towards the altar itself, and begins to give you some basic instruction in the prayers. Basically, those three prayers on that sheet, and kind of walking you through the process without showing you the sheet of paper, to start to get you used to it, like kind of a repetition thing. Like, okay, go through this prayer, now go through it again, go through it again. And he does this with you, and a couple other things. He shows you some basic greetings, a proper blessing, things like that. And then after a time, he says that I must attend to other things. However, I will leave you in capable hands. Thomason,
Yes? Yes, Father. I'm here.
as a little halfling, who's right there behind, kind of hanging out behind you. Could you show this initiate where the basic duties are?
Yes, Father.
We're a bunch of children!
Duty.
He leads you back into kind of the back half of the church.
every session
And-
makes some kind of squeal.
He says,
Stay right here.
comes back a little bit later, and he has got a bucket that is a little bit big for him to carry,
Look at it.
full of water, and clearly soapy water. Sets it down next to you, reaches into it, pulls out a scrub brush, hands to you, and says,
The floors. All of them.
I'll get to work.
All of them.
Through toil, we learn to be humble.
Oh, I know
and then he kind of bows and Off he goes.
I'll get the.
You hear twice the amount of footsteps you should.
Whatever. while I'm scrubbing the floors, I'll just go over the prayers over and over again.
Good. Okay.
To harness the power of the storm, you must first start with soapy water.
Dodge a ridge and
Wax
dodge
off.
lightning.
Exactly.
Wax off.
Leon,
That's me.
anything in particular you want to do?
I'm just keeping a watchful eye over the general area.
All right, give me a perception check.
I'm okay at those. Yay! Yay! Perception. Okay, that is a 23.
Okay. As you're sitting there watching, one of the guards that's kind of on patrol is walking kind of around a corner, comes around this way, kind of walks, stops, stands there for a little bit, taking a couple deep breaths, and then a pigeon shits on them.
That's good luck.
God damn it. Sounds familiar. Alright.
Yeah, that's all you really see of interest. Everything
It's
else is
fine by
just
me.
people bustling around,
Yeah.
doing their normal daily thing. Occasionally other people kind of going in and out of the council chambers, but for the most part, it seems like, there's the council members themselves. They went in there and they're in there and they're doing their thing, whatever paperwork they have. They're having whatever meetings they've already got scheduled, and then it takes a while. It's not until probably around noon that you do see about 4 or 5 people come out. They are dressed fairly nicely, but you would not say that they are of noble blood themselves, or if they are, possibly lower houses, based on your experience dealing with that kind of stuff up in Ravensborough. And just, you kind of get a feel for these things. They're definitely not the councilmen themselves. These are probably like pages or aides to them.
Alright.
And you see them all kind of rush out in different directions. You notice one of them does go over to a restaurant that's fairly close by. And a few minutes later comes out carrying a bunch of stuff.
Okay.
And runs back up into the council chamber.
Gotcha.
And then you see the others kind of come back in. And you yourself are starting to get hungry.
Alright.
But other than that, you can see that. And if you wish, there is probably a restaurant or cafe that has outdoor seating.
Justice never eats.
Yes. That's close enough. You could have a seat and still keep an eye on. the
Yeah, I'll
council
probably
chamber.
do that.
So, but other than that, there's really nothing special going on.
Okay.
That you notice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Back to you.
Yeah, time to get yelled at.
Yep.
Time to yell at people?
You, with your paperwork that you have had and the seal that you have denoting you are Freelancers Association members in good standing.
And the fact I'm
Yep. But it's more the paperwork because it's not like the guards are going to remember every.
Oh, okay,
Tom,
no,
Dick,
no,
and Harry
I'm
that
thinking
come
the dude himself.
No,
We're
no.
literally just here,
through. No,
but
no.
alright.
But you
yeah,
get you get through the gates that separate separate Eknot from the rest of Kyber, and make your way through there to Lord Valoris' estate.
Are they cool with me going in?
They don't seem to have a problem. You're with them, and they show papers to allow admittance, so they don't hassle you.
To clarify which one of them this was this the assholey one or the more free spirited one at the end?
This is the first one.
Wait, no, I wasn't here for the first one.
No,
So I don't know.
you don't know
Alright.
about him.
Cool, just checking. So I can
No.
act
Yeah,
appropriately.
So in the time of walking, I would have been kind of probing, not getting too personal, since I won't overshare about myself, but I'm going to be asking things like, so you guys are some
They're
kind
right
of
there. Ask.
adventuring group?
Something like that.
Yep, we're the group known as the Blue Devils,
Ooh.
named after my former group of cohorts in the war against the orcs.
Wait, so
It's
I'm not
always
the
demons.
mascot?
Yeah, she is kind of like a blue devil. Your skin is blue, right?
It's like a purpley blue.
Yeah, close enough.
Good enough for if you're gonna make yourself a public face, sure, I guess.
mean, it makes sense. Just outsider looking in.
I just always thought it was named after me.
Nope, had nothing to do with it.
Your previous group. Did you say it was from the war, or you just?
Yeah, the Great Orc War, 150 years ago.
Holy moly, you're old.
I wasn't.
I'm actually fairly young, all things considered.
You elves do tend to live quite a long while.
Yeah, we are long.
Do we know
Just
how
what do you
long-
mean, you
people?
Do we know how long the bunnies and the tieflings live in comparison to the elves?
Like,
Not
almost
as long.
like human lifespan.
Yeah,
I think
basically.
the
Oh, okay.
Harengon are just standard lifespan.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're
And
all pretty...
tieflings are about the same.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, 80 years old, you'll grow.
Yeah.
That human
Solid.
part kicking in.
The only
hard.
ones that are like considerably more is
shorty.
elves, and dwarves are kind of in between.
Like up to 400. right?
Yeah, and then
Like things.
Dragonborn.
And then-
Dragonborn.
Dragonborn too, but then kobolds,
Oh,
and those ones are like 7 years old as adulthood. You know, they live to
I'm
like
sure they're
15
thrilled
and then
if
they're
they
dead.
make
You
it
know.
Usually from other causes, but
Yeah,
they
but
actually,
yeah.
they actually can live to like 120.
Yeah, they could.
But they
I'm
don't.
sure
But
they're
not-
thrilled to live to 7.
But then there's no.
Why do adventurers keep coming to kill us?
Oh no, I'm too
No.
only 3 XP.
What if we take the tribe and push it
Patches
somewhere
only
else?
To be 20.
You a young buck, which is the appropriate term for a male rabbit. The more you know.
I just imagine like a jackalope horns coming up.
That would actually be cool. But not on me.
Fuck it, bro. Do it. Be a jackalope. You can be the jackalope you want to be.
You can druid craft some jackalope.
You could. I would allow that.
This is
for
canon now.
I have decided it's so.
Sure. Yes. All right. So you guys approach the estate. What are you doing?
Big talk.
After a little bit of time, then the butler, who you have already met, Coralon, he arrives at the gate and sees you and recognizes you too. Looks over at
Just one.
you. Oh yeah, that's right.
It was like we
Didn't
just
meet you.
established
As
that,
his
yeah.
eyes meet mine, I just
Yeah, he kind of
Like,
looks
what
your
the fuck
way,
did you bring here?
your way, and was like,
hello.
Master Cook, how can I assist you? Have you come bearing good news?
You could say.
I'm just like,
Dude.
I would get whatever comforts you were going to. I bring that.
I see. Very well. You do know the drill.
depends on which daughter we have.
I'll meet you around back.
At the release,
As-
fine.
He, kind of closes the gates, and you can tell from any outside onlookers, they probably would see the exchange from a distance and assume it was like, okay, these people came up to this door and that guy turned them away. Like, oh, those lowly people, shoo. But then you guys make your way around to the back, as instructed. And at the back of the estate,
Decent enough.
Coralon is indeed there. He opens the back gate for you, allows you in, and says, if you wouldn't mind, please take your time entering into the main estate, as I will prepare my detective.
Very well.
He then makes his way back across the grounds, up into the house, where right now you kind of have free reign of the back grounds of his estate, which are a pretty beautiful garden he's had. There is, as before, stables where you can put your horse, but it's, a fairly beautiful garden back there. And you're free to just kind of sit and mingle there while you wait.
This place is fancy.
During this time, I'd like to gather our evidence, such as the diary, make sure that everything is present and accounted for, and that I'm not forgetting anything.
Actually, Leon's got the diary too, so we gotta... I have no idea. I'm
Yeah.
totally kidding.
Yeah. You guys would have collected all
Yeah,
that.
no,
We would collect
yeah.
ahead.
Flop.
I'll give you that much.
Yeah, we're not so stupid to go. I want head now. What? And I guess I'll also go ahead and try and detect a portal while I'm here.
Okay. I think that's just a using.
Yeah, that's just a.
Yeah.
Is that-
Again, not your favorite terrain, so 1 mile out.
Most one's not effective.
Oh, wait.
But
I think that's a little different than
this one I can just, as a action for short rest,
Yep.
detect the distance and direction of the closest player portal.
1 mile. Okay, so that is, yep. Okay. So 1 mile. And for a second, you actually feel something. It seems to be your best guess on distance. It's maybe 3/4 of a mile. It's just into just a little ways away, but 3/4 of a mile. You figure based on the direction, that's either just inside or just outside the city wall on the north end.
What is it, boy? What you hear? Little
But
Timmy's
it's-
trapped in a well?
What is it going?
But it's there. Like you can sense, okay, that something's there, and then it's gone, as if it's like been erased from existence. Like it was open and then gone, like it doesn't exist there. Somehow temporary. It's there.
You see gold zoning out. You,
Here by where they were.
you all good, pal?
I think I
Sense disturbance.
sense that demon waving goodbye.
It's always demons.
Shower stains.
Knee deep in demon shit.
I'm telling you, these demonic games they play, one of them called Dungeons and Dragons. It's the Satanic Panic.
Alright,
The end times.
that's enough of that. No panicking here.
Lordy,
Everybody,
my children.
No
be.
panicking. Everybody stop panicking!
Everyone just calm
Hey,
down.
Persephone,
Yeah.
you asked about planar portals, right?
Probably.
Well, I got somewhere for us to go after this.
Alright.
And I'm not trying to hit on you, just so we're absolutely clear.
Boy, this is awkward.
Yeah, I
Alright.
She's already got eyes for some other very young individual.
She has eyes for a
Secret
lot
tunnel.
of people. It's not a secret.
No, you're Hannah.
Oh.
Secret tunnel.
Through the mountain.
Secret tunnel.
Alright, so a few minutes after you're kind of hanging out and had this discussion, you see the back doors open, and there stands Corlon, and he looks over towards you and kind of waves for you to come in. As you make your way through the rest of the gardens up into the estate, he once again takes you to a familiar room that you were in before, kind of a waiting area, and you are instructed to sit and wait. About 10 minutes later, Lord Valorous enters in, has a seat, and Corlon, right behind him, comes in and begins to pour tea. Waits for the tea to be poured, picks his up, and waits.
I look at what everyone else is doing and hold my.
You
Has
drink
a
it
sip,
all scalding hot
and then
and put it down.
and puts it
You
down.
do have fire resistance.
I know.
A sip of ooh, that's hot.
Your fucking
I'm just gonna-
whiskers.
I'm just gonna let that cool for a few moments.
And then he says,
Singes them.
pleasantries aside, now that you are here, we have already been introduced, at least you and I. I will assume you speak for these others.
I speak for one. Another is a witness.
Hi, my name's Patch.
I'm witness. Nice to meet you.
Hi,
He's a very interesting.
I see. Lord Adarellan.
Pleasure to meet you.
So
I extend my hand.
he looks at it and for a few moments. Looks up at you, turns back,
Fair enough.
I don't like your kind around here.
and
You
says,
furries.
Elves are finicky folk.
Corlon informs me that you have dire wounds, and I am assuming by the presence of a witness some evidence to this fact. So, out with it.
Go ahead. I imagine there's like some kind of coffee table in between us.
Oh yeah.
I go ahead and take the diary, toss it on the table towards him, and pull out the vampire head. Proceed to
You can't
not
just-
put that on the
Show the
Just
Okay,
face.
yeah.
Casually fucking
Look, they
whip
retract.
out.
Pull it out, let it, dripping some gore.
Yeah, no, make sure it's not dripping on the nice furniture. Or
I'm
anything.
gonna
Just
press
splattering
the
blood.
digitation in just a tiny bit while it's out.
Okay.
'cause-
Put that
Oh,
back in the sack and
God.
put that inside. You
And-
also
yeah.
have one
Pretty
of them in a
pretty
bottle,
much
right?
there, Oscar. When that head comes out,
I
he's
think
kind
we'll
of like.
wait a minute to pull that out, but yeah.
"Mm,
You gotta
To,
warn people before you do that. That's
to-
not a normal thing.
No.
to
Yeah, it's hard
explain
to
the
look at.
situation, your daughters were influenced by an individual who later revealed himself to be. They partook in a ritual that transformed mutated flesh into some abomination. Your daughters are not. The only one that may still be savable is this bottle. Transformed into this.
And
I don't know
Who
which
is
one
it?
it is.
We don't know yet. Unfortunately,
And
we
I don't,
arrived as they were transformed.
I
I
don't
never actually saw them, did I? The transformed ones.
you didn't see them transform. No.
I didn't see them while they were transformed either. I don't think.
Mm-mm.
No, you did not see them while they were transformed. You did not see them transform. All you saw was the girls themselves as they were before.
I'm guessing they told me what happened though.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
I'm not just sitting here like, well, they look normal to me.
For what it's worth, I wouldn't open up the bottle inside unless you're fully prepared for what comes out, because it's not much of a daughter anymore.
You need a high level mage to restore her spiritual form. However, one of the daughters is savable.
Potentially.
I mean, didn't they just teleport out? They
Not
missed
this
it out, or
one.
did they die? I don't remember. Like,
The other two
Two
were
missed
killed.
it
Okay.
away, one of them missed it into
Well,
my bottle.
Yeah, two got away.
how did you capture it in a bottle?
Shape water.
Oh,
Yeah, I
that's
shaped
right.
She
water
shaped
the
water
fish
and-
in there.
And
What
she
a
rolled
clever
really
use
well.
of that.
She
Good
rolled
job.
well enough on persuasion for the
To
spell to
convince
actually
him.
affect something that wasn't exactly water, but close
It
enough
was
that I allowed it.
What a
water
it was-
clever
light.
use.
It was cool.
Yeah,
I let it.
Good
It was a
job.
cool idea. I
Oh,
let you
cool.
do
That's
it.
right. Hell yeah.
It wouldn't even
I'd forgotten.
Yeah, but
Good use of that spell.
yeah, but yeah, one of them is savable as far as you know, but the other two got away, right?
Wait, they got away or they
That was
did?
fine. They
no, the core looks like it's coming out.
Okay,
no,
so that's
it's
what I was
fine.
asking. They didn't die.
don't touch it.
The
Okay,
hags
so I
did
know
not
it's
die.
coming.
Yeah,
knock
that
it
no,
out.
she's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I was asking. The hags did not die. Just the.
Just the man.
Yeah, they
Okay.
poofed away. Oh, also to add to the situation, the two that aren't in this bottle, are still under the demon's control, from what we can assume.
So what you're saying is all three girls are alive.
For now, they're not in much of
Two
A
may not
friendly
be of this
form.
plane, and one is in a bottle, but yes, technically they are.
It's gonna be really
And
hard to
this
get them.
evidence that you present, okay, he looks points at the diary. What does this prove?
It proves the influence of the demon and explains the disappearance of your daughters.
Put it there, do the-
He picks
And
it.
brace yourself for what's inside. It's not going to be like
No father should
He
read
gives a
that to
warning
their
for the
daughter.
diary, but not for the head.
no.
No.
No, that's far worse.
This
What's,
is
what's
nature.
everything in that diary? Some rubbish?
Mhm.
No father should ever have to read that.
Yeah, he picks the diary up. Takes that into his, sets it on his leg in his lap. Yes. And they say you were a witness. What exactly did you witness?
I witnessed an ass kicking. My own ass, to be specific.
And what?
Your daughters are very good fighters.
You were attacked by my daughter and her friends.
Yeah, and the vampire that they're holding the head of, and the other dude who's apparently a demon. He was just a dude though
So,
when I got
prove
jumped.
to me that this is the case. What did the girls look like? And you would be able to give description.
Well, they were naked.
Not when they attacked you.
Insert description
Yeah.
here.
And he, any lead at all as to where the other two girls, whichever two they were, have gone?
Take an educated guess it's back to the other plane.
I did, for a very brief moment, sense a player sitting in the city. However, I cannot attest that it is exactly somewhere there than all, but I can investigate further. That is what you would like.
You there. I'll have that now. He points to the watch gate.
I'm gonna get
I just hand you mine.
Shaking your head.
And he says,
Just drinks the daughter.
So
Refreshing.
delicioso.
Transforms to the
I will
Haggard side
have
of him, and they both-
Corlon inform the other
It's like that one scene from The Boys.
of the situation. As for your part, you have not brought our daughters back to us alive, so I am not giving you the bonus. However, we do have word of them and of what has happened. Corlon comes out with a silver platter. Sitting on the silver platter are 3 bags. Fairly decent size. He brings them over, sets the tray in front of him. Says, there you are.
Ching.
And it's 1,000 gold. And the Lord stands up. Diary now in one hand, the water skin in the other. Very stern look on his face. Says, you may leave us now. Please. Exit my home and speak on this no further.
Seriously though, maybe don't open that without protection.
Give me perception checks.
Just her or all of us?
All 3 of you.
Yeah.
Look at that, see if it goes like this.
That's a 25.
I fucking hate it.
25.
13.
12.
Paul.
Okay.
Gotcha. Zach. Well, insert the
I'd like to guidance
critical
myself.
hit, give me some
I mean, you can if you really wanted to.
Cause I am closing up.
Catch that down?
Yeah.
Okay.
I won't make it. That's
Okay. Alrighty. Daniel, get out of my head. I'm singing with it.
What?
That's what Hannah
No
said.
idea. Sorry, stupid chat, if we don't always know exactly what they're referring to.
Yes.
One pound fish.
All right. So, Corlon kind of directs you to get up and ushers you out again through the back of the estate. You now have your payment, which includes the guild's payments. But as far as your contract is concerned, you have met the you have met it.
Hooray!
You did not necessarily get the
Louise,
extra
you
end of
must-
it.
I brought you a third of your children kind of alive.
In drinkable form. It's
You're
honestly a
welcome.
bonus.
Conveniently travel sized.
Yes.
Way less of a pain in the ass now.
I'm obviously not going to make a big fuss of this, but I am going to investigate a little further. If I find anything, I'll be.
Yes. Do not tell.
You'll hear
I
me.
would be interested to know myself. While a bit wild at times, I was fond of the child.
No, I did just add it to my fucking inventory.
Depends on what the guild's
I
All right.
finally figured out what it is I want to buy.
So,
I'll head back to.
okay, so you three make your way back towards
Heading towards
Northgate.
side adventure.
No, you don't want to head up to Fire.
The vine pile.
The Vine Pyre.
Vine
Vampire. He's
Oh,
a nature.
he.
It's a nature vampire. It's a vine pyre. Vampire druid.
Fine,
Vine briar.
Sounds German.
Vine briar.
Pine pyre.
I finally have found you at last.
So
I
this,
want to suck your seed. Ha ha.
this team you're on, it's part of the.
You aren't thinking about the guild's
Why do I need to pay the guild?
Because they're the ones that gave us the job.
I
This
don't know.
team you're on, it's part of the
I
guild.
clearly did the hard work.
We'll just move
Is
to
that
the
in town?
Otis.
Yeah. There shouldn't be a guild, just not every major.
What, is there multiple teams?
Not the
Would I
guild.
know that?
Us.
Are there guilds in this town?
You didn't do
near,
shit!
You haven't actually
I-
seen any guilds in your area of the
AJ
world,
died because of you.
but you did,
I passed
as you were
through a
kind of
few.
passing through a couple of the towns on your way in this direction, a couple of them that were big enough that they had a branch of some kind of Freelancers Association. You noticed it, but you didn't know too much about it.
That's cool. I've seen some of you all around.
Silence.
That's it. Just making a comment on it. Seems interesting.
As you guys arrive in Northgate, once again near the Kyber Council Chambers, you actually see Leon has been seated at an outdoor cafe. He's just gotten some food delivered to him, and he's got some tea or coffee or something sitting in front of him as well. And he is just kind of keeping an eye on the council chambers from here.
Fine, if we join you, Leah.
No, not at all. Feel free.
Oh, here's your vampire head.
Thank you. Very good.
In the restaurant.
Oh, I got a little bit of juice on your sandwich. Sorry.
It
Uh,
builds character.
It adds flavor.
I was gonna say I take something off his plate, but none of there's fucking blood all over it now, so.
Here's that vampire.
It's
It's
not
extra
blood. It's
rare.
vampire juice.
Medium rare.
Prestidigitation.
You ordered a really rare vampire head.
Every time it comes up, I just clean it a tiny bit.
Just a little bit.
Just polish it.
All right. So
Flies away.
you guys are doing that, and you figure you probably have lunch while you're there. So you feel your bellies. Tomer, you are being worked to the bone.
That's fine.
As
I've
There-
dealt with this before.
there is no stopping for food. They barely even, recognize the need for a bathroom break at this point. If you have it's just like oh crap,
the
I really
floor
gotta
and
go,
clean
I
it
really
back
gotta
up.
go, and then it's like, okay, I'm either gonna go on the floor or
Already clean it.
in restroom. So then you finally say something, and they're like, go, you know.
And
So you go use it, and then it's like get right back, and by the time you are done, you probably finish up about like 2 or 3 in the afternoon. The entire floor of the back portion of the church, which is primarily quarters for acolytes and initiates and other, higher up members of the church, as well as a library, small though it may be, but a library of Shemlon and some of the religious texts and things in there, specifically about or for Shemlo's, religion and worship. There are, a couple other, storage rooms and things like that, but it's the entire area. You were made to scrub the entire floor.
Okay.
I need you to make a Constitution save because your
Stupid
hungover
joke.
ass has been working since basically like 8:30 in the morning all the way till 3 in the afternoon, scrubbing floors.
17.
Okay. You are weary as hell. You actually have a point of exhaustion. But by the time you're done, you've done a good job. And Thomason comes in.
yeah. It looks like it is fairly well finished.
Yep.
So, that's all.
Alright then.
Go away.
Now,
I
despite all
thought
this
he was
rigorous
gonna
work,
jump
Just
somewhere.
go away.
one of them walks up to you and offers you a fresca.
You can come back, but you're done today. Go away.
You're like a religious man, right?
I'm busy. Go. I need to do stuff. Go away. Oh, by the way. Good job.
And as he kind of turns around and starts to run away, before he does, he just kind of slaps you on the elbow. Your point of exhaustion is done.
Fuck yeah. Alright. Let's go see where these other fuckers are. I knew Leon said he was leaving to go talk to someone in the politic area.
I love politics.
So I'm gonna before I leave this place, I'll ask them where can I get to the place that he was looking for, because I heard him
The
oversaying.
council chambers.
Yeah. I'll head towards that area.
Okay.
I will say I want one stop on my way real quick, but at least you're
One stop shopping.
It is
Well,
exactly
he's
that.
got all the way until 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
No, I know. Yeah.
You guys are just right around noonish.
No, I know.
So-
Whenever you get a minute, I have a quick little.
Yep. Well, it is now your guys' turn. So, if you want to knock out some shopping, by all
I
means.
do. Remember that nice little chocolate shop?
Oh, jeez.
I ran out, so
Okay.
I want to
in this
restock.
I bought you another box and you fucking ate it already.
All melted and gross.
You
from
only
being
bought me the
on
one
the
box.
adventure this
And you
entire
bought yourself
Okay.
a box. That's
Yes,
2
and
boxes
I
full of
finished
bugs.
them.
You know, if you eat all that chocolate, it will go
Yep,
somewhere
you
you
Oh,
don't want
it's
can-
to.
not just me. I used to have it on his girlfriend.
Oh, that's right. We gotta go back to that place.
Definitely get some chocolate.
Perfect.
I was gonna
how
ask you,
much?
like, wasn't there another member of your group?
No.
No?
He's
All right.
the one who died. Are you stupid?
No, the orc. The half orc.
The horse.
Still no.
No, he
yeah,
wasn't with you?
I'm sure he's around.
He was just
That
like
was a
he
very vivid.
just happened to be there, or he was a hallucination, or both.
He's pretty capable, so I'm not too worried about what he's doing.
We'll get there. It's fine.
Alright, I forgot I'm actually here. Okay,
Yes.
I can talk in character.
Yes,
But
you
yes,
can.
no, I make a quick stop at the chocolate shop, so let me know
Okay.
how much money I owe you for a couple boxes.
Couple boxes. Like how many?
Like
times?
2 boxes.
2 boxes. 4 gold.
It wasn't that
But
bad.
these are good
Holy
chocolates.
expensive
Really good
chocolate.
chocolates.
They don't give you diarrhea afterwards.
No, yeah,
So
no
40
diarrhea. You don't
US
have to worry
dollars.
about that. There's
She just dropped like
there's actually a little bit of
$100 on
cocaine in
chocolate.
there, so you know.
Oh, the
It's like
fucking
good shit.
amount of money I spent on wine last session.
Yeah.
You mean just a quick? Let's go.
Just a finger to the lips.
Shh.
We don't talk about Ajax. All right, so you get some shopping done. You finish up, a nice little lunch at the cafe and everything. You're still watching Leon. Nothing out of the ordinary. Nothing you would consider out of the ordinary.
Okay.
Unless you guys have anything else you're wanting to do. It
What
gets
is-
to about that 2-3 o'clock time when
So-
you finish.
Well, just
What-
take a short rest.
I'll look
What
for them.
exactly are we doing? I know we're waiting for a meeting, but what's the game plan?
The game plan is I go and take care of things, and you don't have to worry about it.
That made me
Then
somehow
why am
way
I
more worried
here?
than when I was just leading you with a vampire head.
Well, you can trust in me. You know this.
I know I can trust you, but when you get serious like this, I know for a fact you need business.
I intend to make waves. Yes. How I get that done should not be your concern.
That's wrong.
Somehow made me even more concerned. Anyways, I plan to go and find a planar portal. Since
I wish you best of
found
luck
one.
in that.
Do I find them at this point? Or am I
It
still
takes a
walking?
little while. Eventually, they do just kind of chill for a little while. So I'll just give you a little time of compression. At about 4:30, you see these four sitting around. They've been kind of discussing, having a long lunch, doing a little shopping, and discussing different things. And they're just about to get up from their table.
This is real fucking nice.
Wow, it's Tomer.
Hey, you did have another member.
How was the Church of Shemlo there, Tomer?
Well, nothing unlike me cleaning the ship's deck back in the day, but I need to apparently. I needed to rain or thunder or storm or something to attune to Ajax's weapon to get the full power of it, is what I've been told.
Well, it was the god of thunderstorms. So
Yes.
so
I can see what the weather's like today.
I'm gonna
Could
roll
you
really,
please?
really quickly
Absolutely.
Thank you.
I'm going
shape
to a druid
water
craft
and make it rain.
on him.
I'm helping.
It feels like you're being pissed upon.
It's like, tss.
She
That's all
forgets
I
to
got.
put it into more than one stream.
That's all I
Either you
got.
stop this or I break your horns off your head.
The aliens from Scary Movie 3.
Well, I've got some good news, Tomer.
What is it?
For one thing, I got to watch a Elven High Lord cry.
Nice.
Love
That's a
Mal.
win.
That's a little fucked.
That's a win.
Did I miss the crying?
Yes.
That's what the perception is for, I imagine.
I assume, but
Yeah.
Percy don't know
Oh,
that.
do you wish ill on that man?
Look, I can hardly tell between your voice and Percy's.
I know, I'm trying to roleplay.
And secondly, I may have sensed where our demon buddy went.
Fine.
Leon. I understand that you can sense latent magic.
To an extent.
I know you're watching this Parliament House or whatever the hell this form of government's called. If some of the others stay here to watch, would you mind going with me to try and sense the residual magic?
Well, I should specify, I am somewhat adept in the arcane. I do not possess the ability to detect magic, as it were.
But if magic were cast in a place, you would be able to sense that it had been there, or no?
There's no residue I can glean from any kind of source. I can see magic, as anyone else can, and I can sometimes ascertain its origin.
Okay.
This is not an ability, this is simply know-how.
My furry friend. Your name again?
My name is Patch.
Tomer. Nice to meet you.
Oh, that's a grip you got on there, on you there, fella.
Listen,
Break his fluffy little hands.
I'm not gonna break them. It's too soon for that. You said you could help me with the weather situation.
Yes, and I druid craft, and the little sphere appears.
Okay. As the sphere appears, what it does is it gives you kind of an outlook on the weather for the next 24 hours. from when you do that. And so as you're looking at this little sphere, what you see is over the course of the next 30 seconds or so, you see the first few seconds, it's kind of a bright warm glow, and then it starts to get darker and darker, and you see little pinpricks of light on it, and kind of a soft whitish glow kind of in the center, and then it continues in that manner for a little bit, and then that starts to fade and the glow starts happening again, and it's coming back and sitting there and sitting there, getting a little brighter, and then towards the very end you start to see what looks like swirls of mist kind of dimming the color a little bit here and there, starting to go a little more and more, and then streaks of light through there, and then what looks like ripples inside it.
So, what can you tell me?
Well, you saw it too. It looks like sun, like the day, and then nighttime, and then towards the end of tomorrow, it looked like it was gonna storm.
I gotta make preparations.
Are you wanting it to storm?
Yeah.
He's got crops.
I like rainy days.
I guess I'm visiting.
There is something peaceful about a nice rainy day.
I guess I'm visiting Ajax's graves tomorrow. During the storm.
Where, like, town-wise, did we end up burying him?
Near the training grounds where we
Yeah,
took
it's-
Okay, so it was back over here. It wasn't.
It's
on the
it's
other
on the
side.
south
Okay.
end outside of town of Kyber.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll go over there.
Rain is good. Good is rain. You are correct, sadly.
I remember what the statue of Shimla looks like, right? Because I was there
Yes.
most of all day.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you
Can I find
That's
someone?
like ingrained in your fucking brain by
Can
now.
I find someone who's good at woodworking?
If you wish to, yeah, you could probably. I mean, it's still there's still enough shops and tradesmen that would be open at this hour.
Yes, please.
So give me an investigation check, just to see how quickly.
Investigation.
Ooh,
Can I
30,
guide
20.
it in?
you can guide it too if you want.
I'll- Let me give you a hand, pal, and I cast guidance on you.
Is it a D4?
As I see you racking your brain.
23.
23. Okay. Doesn't take you long, like 10 minutes, and you find what looks like some kind of woodworking shop. By the looks of it, because you look and you can see in the windows, there are clearly like carved wooden figures. Some look very, very detailed. Some look more simple, like simple children's toys. But many of them are, they're all wood of various types, and they look like they are hand-carved.
I'll be right back, guys. You discuss the next plan. Gold, wherever you're going, I'll follow you for the rest of the day today. So let me just go take some stuff, take care of something. Alright. I'll be right back. I'll go to the wood shop.
Okay. Okay, you're there.
Who's running the place?
When you walk in, it's got one of those little bell kind of things over the door. So as you walk in, it causes the door to, ding, 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 as it kind of opens the door into the bell. And then from behind the counter, you see this head kind of turn to look over you. Long white hair coming down to the shoulders, kind of scraggly looking. A very wrinkled face. Older gentleman. As he stands up, from obviously seated behind this counter. And this probably about 6.5 to almost 7 foot tall, skinny ass human stands up and goes, "Can I help you?"
Yeah, I need like a little statue made.
A statue. Statue of what?
Of the goddess Shimla.
Shimla.
much sawdust. Can you describe it to me?
I'll describe exactly how I was looking at the statue as I was scrubbing the forest all day.
Okay. Slow down.
Alright.
He grabs some kind of quill.
Okay. Go ahead.
Yeah, and then I'll go into detail with the statue that I was looking at all day while I was
Okay.
praying and scrubbing the forest.
And a couple times he kind of has you go back and has you describe a small part, and kind of back and forth goes through, and then after about a good 5-10 minutes of description and some drawing, he shows you what looks like a fairly good representation he's drawn on parchment. He's like,
Will this do for you?
That's perfect.
Okay. When do you need it by?
Before tomorrow night.
I'm gonna have to put aside a lot of projects to put you up that quickly.
That's fine. What's the price?
What kind of wood do you want? No,
Something weatherproof, something that won't get damaged in the rain.
I'll take care of you. $15 gold.
Done.
I asked for 20.
I'll make it 16. Give it an extra.
Okay. I'll take it.
and he grabs some wood. He said,
I'll have it for you. This time tomorrow.
Perfect.
and he sits back down, and now you can see as he sits back down, it wasn't, just like the back area behind this counter is kind of lower. And that's why you can kind of only see his head, because he's really, really tall. And where he's sitting, his knees are like, he's like sitting on a low stool. So his knees are like up, almost by his, up to his chest because of the awkward position. You hear him sit back down, and you swear you hear those knees creak and pop as he tries to sit back down.
Alright. Well,
But then, he pulls out what looks like a beautiful piece of wood. Gorgeous. And he starts going to work.
alright. I'll be back. Alright, Gold. Did we get paid?
Yeah, we're gonna stop by the guild and get the next
I was
cut.
gonna say, let's take care of the simple shit first.
Well, I'll tell you what. With a planar portal like this, it faded out of existence. I think time is up yet. It's there. We're gonna get any clues. Alright, so I think we need to do that first.
Portal first.
Percy, are you sticking with Leon or are you coming with us?
Portals sound like something I've been looking for a while, so I think I'll continue that.
What about you, Patch?
I will go with you.
Good luck to all of you.
There's
luck
not
to
much
you,
going on around here right now.
Hey, take care of yourself.
You too. I'm
Alright.
glad you are taking an investment as much as I am in this.
Yep. It's gotta get fixed.
So you've been putting yourself to work a lot, and I kind of see him probably sweating quite a bit. He was
Sweat glistening off
Weary
his
and
half-worked
everything.
muscles.
It's
Yeah.
not.
his big half-work muscle.
It's not fun when you spend most of the day
No.
scrubbing the
Hell
floors on
no.
the Temple of Shiva.
We're going north.
You're going
No.
north. Honeypot is way south.
Over detailed.
You're doing good.
We'll see how tomorrow treats me.
All right, Liam, got a question for you. What is it you're attempting to spot?
I've just been keeping an eye out, but I'm just being patient and waiting until the next day.
Okay. Give me an intelligence check.
And intelligent. Just like flat intelligence?
Yeah.
It's a flat roll, baby. Ooh.
What?
That's a 15, baby.
Nice.
Okay.
Nice.
You're smart enough to know that being patient is fine, and you could do that. You could sit here. You could observe. But you also know, at this point, it serves no purpose as far as furthering your goal, if your goal is simply to observe, because you're smart enough to figure out, okay, I have seen this kind of thing time and time again back up in Randall's Barrow, nothing's going to be important here. My meeting is tomorrow. I could go with the party and still not have any detriment to my goals. But it's whether or not I want to.
This is the DM telling me not to split the party.
No, this is me
The DM
giving.
advising
This
you
is
you
me
have
giving
another
you an
option.
I'm quite aware. I'm not doing this.
Oh, no.
See, like as Leon, I essentially already assumed I'm not going to get much out of staking out
I
here.
figured as much.
It's more so him being
The
stubborn.
principle.
Yeah.
It's the principle.
Oh, I agree. I'm just making sure
All right.
that you have the option.
Speaking of, I assume that essentially means more stuff is going to be going on, so I'm going to take another potty break. So I'll be
Yep.
back.
Well, actually, at that point,
We'll be
we
right
are going to take a break for approximately 10 minutes.
Hey!
So, if you guys will hold on a moment here, we will be taking a quick, approximately 10-minute break.
Access.
So, we'll see you guys
Get
back
access to
in just a little
the
bit.
library in the back of the church.
Okay, and we're back. So, one of the things before we get back into it that I do want to mention is something that we will be happily doing once we get monetized, because then we can do it, is during our break, once we are monetized, those who are watching on YouTube will be able to do super chats. And those super chats, what we'll do is after the break, we'll read several of them off, who it was that said it, and say different things. And we would love two things, in general. One, you could, super chat pretty much anything you want, but, hey, what's something you enjoyed about the episode thus far, or one of the past episodes, or do your worst. Rag on us. Beat us the fuck up.
Kill me.
We don't care.
Make
We'll,
me try.
we'll have fun. The only thing that we ask is, nothing. Don't be a creep. None of that.
Hey,
We're not
if it-
sending feed
hey,
pics.
But if
you
it
know.
pays, I mean.
Exactly.
Okay, so Jen's open to that.
Take your shirt off.
All right. Menace
Zach,
to
take your
society.
flesh off.
Yes,
Go to ask
yes,
for
Hannah.
pictures
Let's
of
be a
Clem
menace to
and
society.
Yeah, I tried to get her up here, but she hates me.
Yes,
She's
Clem,
so
Clem
chill.
doesn't want to be on camera.
She's so
No
mean.
paparazzi. Paparazzi. Did I make that joke last time?
I don't know.
I don't know. Roll a D100.
Yes. Yep. Don't get a 69.
Yes, you
Yeah, you do. 2d10s.
That's
The
what
little
you're-
28.
The ones that look like this. One has two
Yeah,
numbers on it,
that
one has one number
and
on
the
it.
one that looks
Identical to it.
Yes.
But it has double
that one
numbers
and
on
the
it.
other one. in
See,
the
like
corner.
this?
Yeah, those
This
two
would be-
together.
This
yeah,
would
you
be
were roll them together.
This would be a 48.
Okay, I see what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
28.
Okay,
Hey, that's
not a
what I got.
69. You're
Nice.
good. Okay. Anyway, so
Your character.
where we left off, you guys had discussed a couple things. Leon, at the moment, is still hanging out.
So I actually had an
and
idea.
Uh-huh.
I wanted to see if I could maybe go about town, finding a place to figure this out. Because I'd assume in my free time maybe I've been deciphering these since I in
Mhm.
real life did, and see what I can make of those deciphering misses.
Deciphering messes.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
That's a point one.
I am going to ask you, Sir Leon. Find this, hold on.
My
Pull
dog.
up the document.
I am going to ask you to please go ahead, and I'm probably going to have to open. Yeah, of course it's going to be the other screen, so I'm going to have to grab that from the other screen because, damn it, having me open shit that I don't have open, it opens up on that other screen in the other room. But I'm going to have you roll a history check, and I will let you have advantage on this because you've been working at this for a while. While you're doing that, let me go and
Have we
move
already
this
split
in
up from him at this point?
9.
Yes, if you had wanted to split up.
Yeah. Hold on.
No guidance for you.
Come here. I want to show you on camera. Come here.
9 or
I'm gonna pick you up.
8. You can't cheat, you know.
I'm just curious what I would roll if I rolled a 9.
Look, can you guys see my dog?
9
You
is.
can actually see her on
Hey,
camera,
doggy.
You guys
Oh,
like my dog? She's real cute.
Gooby doo.
So what's your history plus? She's a goober.
We're just getting famous. We're
Okay.
getting Clem famous.
Oh, there we go.
You should roll 2 at once. It's a better roll outcome.
Thanks,
See if we can
My
go.
life's over.
If we get big enough, we can go full time. Maybe I'll actually have someone that sits in the back room that I can just say, "Hey, can I have that screen, please?"
Bring me the dog.
All right. So what'd you get?
9.
9.
+1 is 10.
No,
Okay.
it's
just 9?
8 plus 1, 9.
Okay.
Man,
So
that's
and that was with advantage.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay. So what you get out of that
Jack shit.
is you get a feeling looking at what you have translated that not all of the syllables make sense in common, but a majority of them do. And you're actually able to kind of work out the first sentence as you read the strange cryptic language. You see Zirure Ma'i Lili e Nana Ia Rurure Pe Ure Pe Ruse E Ha Ese Viina Taru Uu Atake Tahiti A Empa Liak,
Bing bang, one,
which you're able to actually piece out to say something close to 4 millennia. Our purpose has been to watch the temple.
Jason's not having a stroke check.
Ixnay on the Ruru
Although
I heard
Tahiti
Tahiti.
is definitely a tribe and survivor.
Yes.
Bing bang, one, bing bang.
Tahei.
Ching chang.
That last one was Tahei. Ta'i ma peli.
This sounds Polynesian.
Okay.
That'll show you, Hannah.
Yeah,
But you're able to get that first sentence.
Awesome.
Progress, baby.
Skip it about that.
Okay. Now the rest of you have split off and made your way from where you are because you were in Eknot and you made your way east into Northgate in order to get to the Kyber Council chambers and find where Leon was, meet up with him and all that. Tomer, you actually ended up coming kind of northwest to get there
Yes.
as you came out of near the bowl. But as you move your way up and start heading to the north, a little bit northwest, you eventually are getting close to the area that you remember. Okay, this like pain came from. It is not there anymore, but it was in this general vicinity. And as you start kind of looking around, I need all of you that are there to make a perception check.
You're funny.
Thank you.
And this is based on hearing. So if you've got, for whatever reason, got advantage on that.
14.
Me too!
21.
19.
Okay, you two.
I don't see shit ever.
You don't hear shit.
Either.
You hear from a little bit further to the north with what sounds to you, and just looking at kind of the general lay of the land, what you figure might be an alleyway close to the wall itself, based on how the buildings are kind of laid out. Echoing kind of down through the buildings a little bit, the clash of steel. Ding, 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 ding.
Where are we going?
Let's go.
It's
not.
you're not.
Alright, follow
Where
us.
are
We're not.
Let's
It seems like a little ways away, but it sounds like a fight.
I'm gonna look at you two, be like, stay in the back line. Go, let's go.
Break into a gallop on a horse.
I break into a continued normal trot.
Okay.
Question.
Yes.
Since we are using the horses, there's no logical way that me and Gold are gonna fit on one horse. So I
You
would,
two? No, you're too big for.
That's what I'm
for
saying. So it'd be me on one horse and Gold on the other, and then each of them be on one each horse, correct? I can turn into a
horse.
There you go.
Yes.
Are you gonna
I'm
turn?
right.
Are you turning into a horse?
No, I'd probably turn it into something that flies.
Well, double check that. I didn't look at that before. But you are a 6th level druid. Double
3
check.
or less.
Do you have access to the?
Yeah,
great
max CR, no flying speed. That's the thing.
Well, it's a moon druid.
No. Wild shape. As an action, you can magically assume the shape of a beast you have seen before twice per short rest. At second, max CR a quarter, no flying or swimming speed. At fourth, max CR 1/2, no
Well,
flying
that's
speed.
normal. The moon.
You're not a moon druid, are you?
Oh, I am.
Oh, you are.
Yes.
Okay.
He said, "I want OP, please."
Yes.
Well, I could only choose one book, and it was either that or like land.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
To
I'm
be
not,
honest-
I'm not
honestly-
complaining.
honestly,
OP is
moon druids are the shit in my opinion. So.
awesome.
That's why I played one of my Monster Hunter campaigns.
And they are cool. Transforming into things
Okay,
is awesome.
it does say wild shape improvement. At 4th level, you that doesn't have a flying speed. You can use this feature twice. You get expended uses. You finish a long rest. I think it's. I still, even with the moon druid, I think it's not until you
Can I
hit
make it
8.
a legal play?
It was, yeah, but it was just like an owl for going under a roof. So
Yeah. You
I
can
think
turn into
it
a
is
rat.
not. I think it is not until 8th level that you have
I could have
the regular
sworn.
wild shape, or that you have flying speed. Yeah, 8th level, you can do a flying speed. With your wild shape improvement, though, you can do a creature that I believe is your half. Oh no, I think it's your
Or a
level
third of
divided
your
by
level.
3. Yeah, your level. So you can do a CR2, but I don't. Think
Oh,
you-
maybe that's what my top one is. Not 3.
Yeah, you can do a CR2, but you can't do flying speed yet until you hit 8th level. So anything that doesn't require flying speed at this point, that is CR2 or lower, and it's considered a beast, because that's what
You can be a wolf.
you could. You could be a dire wolf.
Must abide by the other limits. Okay, fair enough.
Welcome to the pack.
So, but yeah, you could definitely become a horse. You could
Alright.
also become. You could become a dire wolf.
What about a tiger? Is that?
Yeah, tigers I think are only CR1.
Centipede?
If I remember off the top of my head.
They got 100 legs. They must go fast.
They must be powerful.
Well,
Think about it.
Velociraptor.
100 attacks.
If you saw a velociraptor, then technically you'd become one.
Is that like what CR had?
You mean
They're
velocity?
chicken size.
Roll.
Yeah, roll for that.
92.
We're also going to start implementing the injury table from
I forgot
that
about
Dale
you mentioning that.
that Dale Kingsmill kind of put together. I'm stealing her stuff because it's really awesome. So basically, if you take like half your HP in one shot,
You could have like a little thing.
you could. Well, no, it doesn't get to that, but you can have an injury that's going to affect you. And depending on how bad it is and how bad you roll compared to the save,
So it'd be like a scarred eye or something. And like a
yeah, you could lose an eye. You could, take severe burns that, make it so you can't, your movement speed is reduced by half or something for the remainder of the fight or something like that. I mean, there's a couple
Yeah, you
of
take
things.
3/4 damage on successful save against fireball.
Or something like that. Or I think there's one like if you're like one below the save, like you just barely missed it, you actually get a bonus, but then after like 3 rounds you collapse like unconscious. So there's stuff like that. So there's some cool things. But we'll just have to see if or when that happens.
Yeah.
Okay. So
I'll be driving one horse, he'll drive the other one. We'll both just go hee-haw.
yeah, well if he's on one, Persephone and him could fit on one together.
That's fine. I'll take the other one. Hee-haw.
I'll ride with him.
I'll take the buddy.
I don't think you'll fit with him. That's the thing. Is
Is he that
he's a big boy.
I turn into a giant elk.
Okay, fair enough. You easily would have seen one of those in your
Where
travels.
the hell's Legolas?
Okay, so you are now a giant elk, and you are going with them.
60 speed.
As all 4 of you, make your way towards this noise at breakneck horse / giant elk speed.
I wanna
And now
break his
he's Kahira.
Dun, 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 dun.
You go past several buildings, and then you make a sharp turn down an alleyway. And in this alleyway, down at the end of it, which is probably a good 40 feet away, as you make this turn and look, there's not a lot of stuff in the alleyway. You know, some of the alleyways, like in the worst parts of town, there's barrels and crates and broken down shit and garbage and bums, beggars, whatever, hanging, drunks hanging out in the alley. This one, it's just an alley. But down near the end of it, which is right near the wall that protects the city of Kyber itself, you see, kind of in the shadows cast by the buildings, a dwarf wielding a battle axe, wearing very dark colored, like they're wearing some kind of scale mail, but even from this distance you can see that it looks like the scales have been blackened somehow, like on purpose with like dust and soot or something like that. They've rubbed into them to eliminate the shine and help conceal it, as well as a dark cloak, gray and black, kind of modeled, almost in a camouflage pattern, going down past their waist, almost to about the middle of their legs, with a hood that is pulled back at this point in time due to the heat of battle and the movement, as it is striking down two very odd-looking humanoid forms. Any perception check for roll forward?
See, I'm not good at those. Nope, I'm not good
Jeez,
at those.
16.
14. 18 flat.
6.
6. You are sitting behind Gold, so
Yeah,
you do
it's
not
fine.
notice. Both of you notice. What was yours?
14.
14. Okay, so you would notice it as well. There seems to be a mixture of a smell of sweat, blood, and sulfur in the air. As these creatures that are kind of striking from the shadows, two of them, as you're rushing down here, you see claws hit this axe and emit the sound of steel striking steel for a moment, as the dwarf then turns low, swings, and takes the legs out from the one behind it, spins up, pulls its axe around, and cleaves down into this other one. Both the creatures fall, and then bright light erupts as they combust, fire emitting from their bodies, burning them to ash, and then the light is gone. As you now pull up, and the dwarf steps back into the shadow, somewhat covered by it, but still visible to your eyes as you look upon him, with the axe raised up. What are you doing here?
Who said that?
Well, we heard clanging of swords, so we thought something was going down.
Swords, crude weapon. Those swords here. Slings his axe
Confused
across
elk.
his back. Who are you?
The Blue Devils of the Freelancers Association, or you know.
No one of concern to you. You saw nothing. Insight?
My
Sure.
17 perception
Yeah,
says
well,
I
also,
did in
I
fact
will
see
also
something.
do that. That's kind of sus.
Sure, I'll
Yeah.
join in the insight party.
I want to get it on that.
Okay, now, only one person can insight at a time.
I said it.
So,
Then I
you
don't.
did, however...
Let her do
Inside
it
out.
first, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. However, I will allow someone to assist and give her advantage.
Go ahead. You have my insight.
What's your plus of insight?
I'll take my 17 I got the first time.
Okay.
So,
You get the feeling from this individual that they don't want to tell a lot of information about what they are doing, why they are here, and that their intent is for you to go away and leave them alone, because whatever has happened here, you kind of get the feeling that they feel like this is beyond. You don't know. You have no clue.
If you know, you know.
Well, let's see. I do know a thing or two about
Because you've seen a thing or
nothing
two.
because I have no idea what the fuck happened. So
I do recognize that smell.
So,
I don't know what the fuck.
Elk noises.
I didn't see shit.
Tell your pet to be quiet.
It's okay. And I start petting you.
He sniffs the air.
Look up sad elk noises on YouTube.
Who are you?
Yeah, just answer that question.
My name is Gold.
What do you know of such things?
I know of demons. And I know how to fight them.
I see that.
Well, I can only assume you're a Kyber for the demon we had.
So you know of him.
Oh, we've met him on a few occasions.
we know plenty.
He likes us.
I do the hoof into the ground thing.
Give me a persuasion check.
Can I assist him?
What are you going to say to assist him?
I was gonna say, we know him more well than you think. He took one of our own from us, so I think we have a good idea.
Roll with advantage.
13.
So you felt his bite. Yet you live. Impressive.
Weird.
I couldn't say much for the woman that he was bringing around with him. I ripped her heart out.
She was brought a vampire. Nothing important.
Yeah, but she's the one who killed our friend under his command.
Still not important.
It is to me.
Small in the scale of things.
So is your stature.
Say that again to my face, friend.
How about you step up a couple feet and get on a crate and look into my eyes and say that again to me?
Why don't you get off your high horse?
Oh, I fucking get off the horse and I started pulling out the maul. We got a problem?
Just after that bird. Elk head up to the sky.
I like this guy.
This one is crazy.
I like this guy.
I like him too. But you intrigue me.
Gold man, more like gold queer, got him.
Cancelled.
Shut up, you're not even here.
Stick out your hand. Let me see it.
Take off my uniform.
He walks up, reaches up to your outstretched hand on the horse, grabs it, kind of roughly pulls it, almost pulls you off the horse. This guy's strong. You didn't realize how strong until he kind of yanked you a little bit. And he looks at your hand, he turns it over, he looks at the palm. He starts running his hands down the lines in your palm. You are the good. I was not expecting you to be so skinny.
I thought I was a little overweight for now, but what do I know?
I was told. I guess I am getting distracted in my old age, but I see you are here. Interesting. Tell me more of what you know of the demon.
Perhaps we should do that in a place of more private.
He's alien.
Agreed.
He's brave.
Agreed. Very well. Follow me, I know a place we can speak. I'm Ludo.
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 He walks between the buildings and the wall of the city on the backhand side. There is not really enough space to ride your horse here. You could walk it, but it's still a little tight. But it's easier to walk the horse than to try to ride it through this area.
I probably don't fit through this, huh?
Damn it.
As an elk,
Giant elk. He is
yeah,
a
yeah,
huge beast.
your horns would not allow passage. You would have to change back.
There, I shift back.
Okay.
I'll give the reins to Patch. I'm walking next to this guy.
There's not really room to walk.
Well,
up
no,
side
like
by
not
side.
next to him,
Yeah,
but like
behind him.
behind.
Okay. He walks you along the wall for a good minute or so. Stops, looks at the wall. My work is good. It is sealed. No more of the beasts.
Was it some kind of portal?
We talk in a minute.
Hold on.
Okie dokie.
He continues to lead you kind of along the wall for a bit until you find there is a hole in the wall that is broken open. It is covered up by the back of one of the buildings in this very narrow kind of hallway or alleyway. No one would have noticed it unless they purposely come back here, just because it's kind of tucked away. There is enough room to get your horses through, but they're not going to like it because they're going to have to kind of bend down at weird angles and stuff. You could leave them here. You could try. It's up to you.
Just time on that.
Yeah.
I won't draw attention to this hole we're supposed to hide, but it's fine.
Okay. Actually, you figure it probably will. This is tucked away. If you follow him, he leads you through the hole. And the wall itself, the outer wall of the city, is relatively thick. It's probably a good 6 feet. But this hole goes all the way through. And on the other side, there are several bushes that have overgrown. And he just kind of pushes them aside. And then lets you kind of pass through with him. And then kind of puts them back in place. And waves you on. You begin to walk outside of the city now for about 5-10 minutes until you're a little ways away. And he steers you towards the shore of the lake. On the shore of the lake, inside the city, there is an old fishing shack. There's a bank. It has been there a long time. As you walk up to this place, you begin to notice little things. It is run down. Wood. It's got stains on it as of weather, mud, age, all have come into play. It's been rotted, but it is holding up.
I sure hope he doesn't kill us.
It is holding up. Some of the boards of the decking on the front of it that go out towards the lake are broken or rotted through. But as you walk around towards the front, you get to the door, and as he opens it, you do notice the hinges make no sound. He opens the door, and when you step in, there is some indication that someone has been staying in. You can assume it must be, as he seems comfortable. Drops his stuff in the corner. Keeps his axe on his back, but then sits in a fairly rickety looking chair over to one side next to a fireplace and begins to stoke some embers that are in it and add a little bit of wood to what remains of what used to be a fire. Oh, great. And it looks like Peter said he's stuck or something. No, it's bad. He just asleep. Computers do? Yes, computers can do that. Okay, so that's good. Lost that screen. No, there is back. Good. So, and as he's working on it, he says, "Hit technology, exactly." So, as I said, tell me what you know.
About this particular demon or
The one I am chasing.
I curl up next to the fireplace.
he's been fairly active as of late. He's grown bold in his tactics. At first, he would disguise himself among the residents of town while laying waste to it through either his underling, the vampire, or infesting it with this root. You have the root, right?
Yes.
I also got some samples.
And I hold it up.
Let me see.
Why does everyone take that from me?
Why don't we display it so?
Don't worry, I got extra.
We first found the root at the bottom of a lake, or at the bottom of a well, and it infected the town people. Turned undead.
They did what?
I asked you how your
Don't eat
village
that.
was doing.
That's probably what happened to your village.
That's really kind of worrying.
More than one city.
I think I have an
How
idea.
many forms has he presented?
3.
3 and then just true form.
I count.
You
4.
saw his true form.
It's 3.
What did he look like? And he starts asking for details. He's going nitpicky. He's like, you know, were there horns? How long? Curved? In what direction? Yeah, he's just.
Can I, with either prestidigitation or thaumaturgy, make a little?
Not
like-
quite. That would actually be like a minor illusion at the minimum.
Question. If I have the magic spell Disguise Self,
Yes.
Can I make myself look like him a little bit with that spell?
That is a good question. That's clever. Let me see.
I don't imagine you wouldn't be able to.
Yeah,
Might be able to match like facial structure.
Yeah, like
Not
facial,
gonna-
like the general
I'll
idea.
say
I mean,
close.
something's- yeah.
That it'll get close enough that you can kind of give a general idea. I'll say you can do that.
I'll say, look, he looks like this, more or less, rough sketch, and I turn into it.
He passes his wisdom saving, doesn't see it.
Yugoloth. Interesting.
You
What
go
do you
what?
say? Ooh.
You go what?
Yugoloth.
Yes.
He seems to enjoy toying with us, scrying and horrifying, peering at a distance. He likes to play games and set traps.
He's kind of a dick.
He's real cocky.
You killed my best friend. I mean, our best friend. Being honest.
Next one.
Yugoslavia, yeah. That's what my tablet auto recommended when I was typing it in.
I knew it.
Christian is apparently a Yugoslavia.
But if you got a bone to pick with him, so do I.
You gave him a name?
He did that himself, but yeah.
He's disguised himself as a tiny halfling, an elven man, a human.
I feel like I count one more.
He took the daughters of some
Higher power.
nobles in town and used them in a blood ritual to raise them.
Gross and kinky and shit, bro.
Interesting.
Seems
Do
to
not
find-
see the typical variety like that. Just there. You definitely intrigue me, though.
Well, this isn't my first encounter with a higher class demon.
I know.
Same.
We're not talking
What?
about
It's because you are a demon. I should end you now and save everyone the suffer.
She has been through some.
some ways.
He
Wait.
stares at you. Give me an insight check.
I don't trust
He
this
wants
bitch.
to kill me. I'm gonna tell you that. He can't say
You said that out loud. So.
this. I know.
He is very curious about you. Especially after that last day.
So, I've told you all I know about this demon. What can you tell us? While we're clearing the
It's around the world for a moment.
patch.
Fuck it, I will go out today.
You want to not get involved. It's probably your last chance to do so.
No,
Otherwise,
I
we're
think
dragging
I'm
this.
well over
He
waist deep at this point.
stays.
Okay. That was pretty convincing.
Listen, you share one of your secrets, I'll share one of mine. How about that?
Well, I think he was ready to just tell us. But okay.
Maybe
Fair enough, tell me your secret.
Just keep a close eye, and I morph into the werewolf form.
That is cute, I like
He
it.
turns into one too.
Very nice.
Comes in handy at ripping off a vampire's head. Or killing a demon.
I see that. Good. But you are of no concern about the world force. You,
I'm not.
I beg to differ. Have you heard of the shadows?
Whisper. Not concrete.
And I am just a little look like. But I was told to look out. Apparently I have spotted you for once.
Oh.
We had inkling. Someone with the right skills could be in this area. Whispers, as you say. Whispers that slip into shadow. What is your purpose when it comes to the economic?
Well, I'm gonna be outright honest with you. Quite frankly,
Yet you keep one by you.
I'm just kind of eyes going back and forth like,
like I said,
I'm gonna look at Patch and be like,
what an interesting friendship dynamic you all had.
hey, first time he's ever brought it up.
That does seem complicated.
How did you say that you keep one by you?
like I said,
Your ears closed.
Persephone's just kind of like sweating,
Single beat.
Could have use for one. Your skills.
What skills are we talking about?
He acknowledged my skills.
Not your skills.
I know.
and what skills would it you need exactly?
He stares at him for a moment. If this is the direction of the conversation, it would be for your ears only.
I'm kind of curious to hear what he has to say.
I'll pick,
Jokingly grab my ears and
I'll be like, I can fix this. I'll pick up Persephone in my werewolf form. I'll pick up the rabbit in my other hand, and I'll just walk outside. into
I
the
guess I'm
cellar.
going this way.
Hey,
Goodbye.
you're still like a 6 foot tall rabbit, are you
No,
not?
he's like 5 feet tall.
5 foot.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Never mind.
I'll give you guys some privacy.
Okay, I'll leave you now, I guess.
As you walk out,
I doubt it's gonna work, but for what it's worth, I am attempting to listen in.
yeah, go ahead and do your perception check.
Yeah, this has big old rabbit ears. I'll listen in as well. I'll
That's a
interrupt.
4.
Okay.
Hybrid form, so I get it ready.
Yeah.
Well, no.
Oh,
Yeah.
10.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm hearing.
Natural 20.
Oh my!
So what's your total?
20, natural 20.
I got a 10.
Okay.
I'm gonna give you guys some privacy.
Yeah,
Hey,
you
I
do.
gave you privacy.
You do hear the
alright?
conversation, and if you wish, you could relay it to the other two. But he says to you,
I guess. I'd
"You
go
can
for
sense the portals,
Fine.
can you not?
I can.
Good. And you said you wish to kill the demons. How are you in the fight?
Fair enough.
What proof have you of this?"
Oh, let's see.
As you're about to think on it, his axe comes off his back and he begins to swing at you.
Oh, I don't do that.
Give me a dexterity save.
Gold dice.
We're all just sitting there like,
Natural 2026.
Okay. You duck and roll out of the
Way
way,
to look cool.
How high-
And
in
he-
front of your new friend.
and he smiles at you, just big beaming smile.
amateur.
And in this house, we
Roll for initiative!
Wait till
Yep,
I'm
but
drinking to
just
say it,
for
though,
you.
man.
Oh.
Gets your ass clapped in a
We're
shed.
just sitting there like
In
in
this
front of
house,
Tomer, like, what's he
you
saying
roll
now?
for initiative.
Shh, I'm
And
trying to
only
listen.
you.
22.
Oh wow.
Just quiet idiots.
In the thing, please.
Play with some sand.
Sounds like they're fighting.
Natural 20.
Jesus.
So that's a 23. So he actually beat you. I
Unstoppable
thought
force
for sure he was
versus
going
immovable
second.
Object.
So he then charges in and attempts to swing at you. And I'm pretty sure a 19 hits your AC.
Certainly so.
Splat.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
I wonder what his AC is. Oh, no, he took off the armor.
Yeah, he's not wearing his armor right now.
Alright, like
The only thing he's got on him is his axe.
Which only hits for like 30 on the first attack.
Oh,
That'll be fine.
Let's test out that new injury system, guys.
oh, did I forget to mention it's the blood axe?
Alright.
I
And
wouldn't
he
be
is
surprised.
Also,
he is
he's
wielding it
sharpening
with
Your blood on one
he is wielding it with both hands.
It's like, what's in here? Only your
And-
demise.
You take 14 points of slashing damage
Ouch.
as he cleaves it kind of across your chest, and it just draws a line. He doesn't dig it really deep, but just due to the it's from shoulder down to hip, it does enough damage. It cuts through your armor, and you feel the weight of that strike, and you can tell that that he wasn't trying to kill me, but he's definitely testing it. It is your turn.
Alright, as a bonus action, I'm gonna hone in on him. Just solidly stare, cast Hunter's Mark.
Excellent. Okay.
I'm going to go ahead and take out my short sword and go for a slash.
Okay. Go ahead.
Is it a one?
It's a that one.
Don't you get
Just
two
flies
attacks?
out of your
For
head.
a 7.
Yeah. As you pull your short sword out and go for a slash, that axe that came across, you thought you had an opening as he kind of cuts back down like this, and his whole left side is exposed to you. You pull your sword out and stab, and surprisingly, he turns the axe over in his hands, brings it back, and just kind of bats your short sword out of the way. And then he looks at you and he goes, amateurish. Again! And he just steps back and, holding the axe in one hand, puts it on his hip and looks at you. Come on. That's his turn.
I thought you get two attacks.
I do, but I had to draw a weapon.
Nope,
That's right.
that's actually part of your movement.
So you get another
And I-
attack.
You do get a second attack.
Alright. Well, for flavor's sake, since he already had taken the turn to done that, I'll say I only made the one strike.
Okay. Fair enough.
Alright. I'll go ahead and use my feature for Horizon Walker. And
Okay.
go ahead and imbue my sword with purple radiance.
Outstanding.
And I'm going to go ahead and go with my first attack. That is a 25.
That hits.
Pew.
Alright, that is 14 plus. That is 17 force damage on the first hit.
Excellent. As your sword gets knocked wide, you get a little bit angry and you concentrate, focusing that energy into that sword and bringing it back as you kind of spin in almost a scorpion strike, which takes him off guard as he was expecting more of a thrust. And it catches him in the shoulder and sinks in a good 3 to 4 inches, definitely finding a bite before he kind of winces and backs away as your second strike comes in at him.
That is a 20.
That will also hit.
That is only 6 damage.
Okay. As you bring the sword around again, and it's a glancing blow, more of a of just a bludgeon against him as it kind of rings against his battle axe haft and him a little bit, not really cutting him so much as more as just kind of knocking into him and giving him a little bit of that trauma. He kind of regains his footing and smiles. This time he goes, my turn.
Gets head chopped off. New character, who it is?
He takes a swing. I don't think that's going to hit. 13.
No.
As he takes another swing. That for a 16 hit.
That will hit.
As, let's see, where is that?
Savage.
The moment I know he's in real danger, I'm busting through that fucking door and get shit.
Yeah, right now I'm just like,
What's happening?
Well,
Shut up!
I'm debating messaging him, but I technically can't hear him.
No, yeah, you can hear
I can't.
fight. No, all at this
Oh,
point,
we
all
can?
of you can
Oh,
hear because there's
solid.
fighting. You heard the conversation,
Yeah.
but when
Okay.
you start now hearing steel hit steel.
I would like to send a message via message to Golden. Say, hey, you all right there, bud?
Not now. Let him work it out. I think it's a test of some
Okay.
sort.
He said not now when I asked if he was
All right,
alright.
so-
does that mean he's not alright now?
As
or
he
He's in the middle
swings
of a trial.
once, you step back quickly, but this time he brings the axe around. And he actually catches you right around your hip. This time it is with one hand. You take 7 points of damage, and I need an athletics or acrobatics check.
I'll go ahead and go for an athletics. That is a 21.
Okay, so he definitely beats you on that. You are now grappled, Ryan,
Oh, that's not cool.
as he basically hooks you with the hook point of the axe, pulls you in, and grabs you with his other hand. It is your turn. You are now grappled.
That just constitutes that my movement is reduced to 0.
Yes. Basically, that's pretty much exactly what it is. Your movement is 0.
Use this flag.
Okay.
We're gonna kill him.
Your speed becomes 0. You can't benefit from any bonus to speed. And that's pretty much it. He's basically saying you're not going anywhere now. But that's about it.
Okay. I'm gonna go ahead in a rudish, kind of asshole-y manner. Say, I didn't plan on going anywhere. Take my short sword up and try and drive it down your shoulder.
Okay.
And I'm gonna use my bonus feature for this as well. So, blade still glowing nice and bright.
Outstanding.
First attack is definitely not going to fucking hit.
What'd you get
6.
in total?
Yes.
I thought with a natural 1 you had a 7.
Or no, sorry, that'd be a 9.
Okay. So it wasn't a natural 1.
No, it was
Okay.
a 3+.
Yeah, it didn't hit.
I was gonna say.
Alright.
He rolled a -1.
And second.
Yeah, that's what I was like, what?
That one's a little bit better.
That hits.
Just a little bit better. Just only double
Only
better.
triple, almost. No,
You
double because
got
I had a
nine,
9. I was still thinking of 6 in my
Fair
head.
enough, yeah.
That is going to be 12 more damage.
Okay. That blow, as you attempt to stab down, he kind of moves into you and it goes behind him, but then you rake your blade up across his back. And that he definitely felt that. Grimace kind of appears across his face as he takes the blow. But there's a smile behind him. He then...
That's hot.
Alright, I need to make sure the rule on this one is
I am a dwarf in a geeky hole.
Okay, I need either strength athletics or dex acrobatics.
Athletics, for sure.
You beat him. He attempts to shove you prone. Basically, his foot comes out as he's holding you with one hand. His foot comes out behind your heel, and he attempts to shove you down onto the ground. And you just like deftly allow your foot to be swept out, kick, spin, and come back. He's still got a hold of your shirt. You're not going anywhere, but somehow you avoided getting knocked to the ground. And he has a little bit of a surprised look on his face as he then attempts to elbow you.
He's fighting dirty now.
That's not going to hit, actually.
He's flailing.
So he missed.
He's going into a death roll. He still did get him.
Do you tilt or do you yield? Oops, where was that?
Uh-oh.
He
It's
yields,
empty.
apparently.
Tomer, is he winning?
Shot there.
Up! You haven't answered anything.
With that, I'm gonna go ahead.
I can't tell.
Fair enough.
Same
comes out more bloody.
Okay.
Bonus feature. Go ahead and try and make a stab attack with my short sword again. Try and true.
Are we doing?
That is a 20.
That hits.
That's all I'm getting from you.
Alright, that is 17 force damage.
Ouch. He felt that. And your second attack.
This time with my free hand, I'm gonna try and lay one right.
Just punch him.
Okay,
Joke's on
that's
you, I
an
made
unarmed
brass
strike.
knuckles.
Yep. That is a 15.
That hits.
Alright, that is 2 plus. Good old,
Plus your strength. Or
Plus
plus your hunter's mark. Roll your hunter's mark.
Alright, that is 6 bludgeoning damage.
Alright, so with your sword, you actually, as he tries to elbow you, he leaves his ribs exposed. And you rake your short sword up along his ribs. And you go, "Argh!" And then just swing out with your fist and catch him right on the jaw. And his jaw, you know, it's like
Slow-mo cam.
slow-mo cam with it. And he's like, "Argh!" And then on his turn, strength, athletics, or dex acrobatics, please.
That is a 17.
Okay. He shoves you away from him. You're now like 5 foot distance away, like 5 feet between you, so you're 10 feet.
Yeah, just
Apart.
closer.
And he drops his axe, puts his hands out, says, "Enough." And he's Good. Very good. I will be feeling that.
As will I.
You hear another message in your head. It got silent. Are you still alive?
Yeah, you're fine.
I think
It's fine. I know that.
you definitely could be under the shadow. But I need to know where your heart lies.
I've been so long without answers that my ambition for the hunt has been gone for a while. Only recently has anything come up, so I'll be honest, I'm kind of complacent.
What of your companions?
They're the only thing motivating me right now. Where they go, I go, and where I go.
He motions to you to lean close, and he whispers in your ear. The furry one has good ears. No doubt he has heard us, but this he probably cannot hear. You, if you wish, can join our ranks. However, you must say nothing without hearing them. Your actions will be swift and silent. Your missions to protect this realm from all invade. Those from weakness.
I had leaned in a little closer to be even more quiet.
Puts his hand out. As you reach for it, he grabs you by the forearm, and as your forearms touch, you feel a burning sensation right about here on your forearm. And he holds you fast, his grip like iron. Your arm isn't going anywhere, you're trying to let go. And when he eventually lets you go, you see on your forearm there is a perfect circle. And then in that circle, there is one wavy line coming down. On half of it, it is almost jet black. On the other half, it is gray. And it's weird how they can get that variation in what's essentially a brand. But then as it sits there for a moment, it begins to fade away until it is not visible. And you see his art. The same thing. You can see here the same symbol, but it goes like white hot. And that color fades back to the circle, the wave line through the center, black on one side, gray on the other, and then it begins to fade. You are now so marked as one of us. Should you need a brother, think of us. Perhaps if one is nearby, you will call it. And now, you know much about this being here. And you are operating here. So I should go. It's your responsibility now.
You're the man now, Don.
Thank you.
The door opens. The dwarf steps out. He has some pretty heavy gashes on him.
Ooh.
He looks at the three of you. Your friend is tough. I'll give him that. You. Don't make me come back and kill you. You. I like you. You. I do not know anything about you. You are interesting, but not that much.
That's a little hurtful, but
Have
all right.
fun. Have fun with your demon. I leave them to you. I suggest you help your friend with that. He will need it. Good.
We give you something for your trouble. Take out one of my other flasks, not the other one. You might need that for your journey. I know how we work.
It's the strong shit.
Oh yeah. More of it.
We come across drink of my people.
And I don't get to work at. It's the only thing that gets me there.
Good, good, good. Thank you.
No problem.
Have fun. Your friend will know how to get in touch if but it is all good now.
I got it.
I suggest you find it true name. It will help you. That is all I can say. He then walks down this kind of decrepit front porch of this old fishing shack towards the end, and as he's turning the corner into the little bit of shadow cast by the awning, it almost looks like he goes into the shadow and is gone. But you just catch this little, just enough of a silhouette to know that he actually just walked around the corner. But it's a little spooky the way it happened because it was like a fast transition. It's almost like he disappeared, but he didn't. He just went around the corner. And he may have wandered off somewhere. You don't know. He didn't come back yet.
Hey Gold, how you feeling, bud?
I feel like I need a drink.
Well, do you want my shit or do you want to go to the wall? Well, no, he hasn't been to the honey pot. Are we just gonna go back to the honey pot?
We need to go to the guild to turn in this quest. Did you forget already, Tomer?
Fine.
He was the one that brought it up to begin.
I know.
I always forget about shit. I just got other things on my mind right now. Let's go.
All right. So you guys go ahead and start heading back.
Yep.
You end up walking back through this little hole in the wall. You find your horses and you start heading back. And by the time you're heading back, you are making your way through Northgate, and I mean, it's not very far out of your way if you so desired to stop over near the council chambers and check on Leon, but you don't have to. You could just kind of make more direct route. It would probably save you a total of like 3 minutes, but you could.
No, I'll give 3 to my day, Leon. That's
Alright.
fine.
I don't know, 3 minutes is asking for a lot.
So you end up, as you're sitting there observing still, eventually you see your companions coming back through on horseback towards where you are seated observing the council chamber.
How fares your exploits?
More interesting than
That's some weirdo.
Yeah, that's about right.
he ain't that weird. He's a good guy. I can tell he's a good guy.
He tried to kill me, but I
He
mean,
didn't
what's
seem very
new?
nice to me either.
Well, he didn't know you.
He didn't know any of us.
He didn't know any
He
of
knew
you.
all of us for the same
just
amount of
got-
time.
You just gotta know how to talk to these people.
You just sat down and you're already throwing all this at me. So I take it you made a new friend.
You
Something
could
like
say
that.
Friend is a strong word.
Friend is a very strong word.
But we're just coming to check on you, and then we're gonna go get our money. Probably just go to the tavern, talk for a little bit, and then hit the hay. And then I know I got plans for tomorrow.
See about more work.
We could, but I definitely want to get my personal.
Oh, of course. That's fine.
Let's go get Lizzie Swash.
Question: when he did the weather thing, just to confirm,
Mhm.
the thunderstorm was coming towards like the evening of tomorrow, correct?
Yeah, you would estimate based on it, since it's like a 24-hour weather forecast, you're estimating like 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, somewhere in there is when you would have said that it's kind of looking like it's rolling in, and then it might go for a few hours before nightfall.
I just wanted to have a time clock, so at least I get the statue and then I can set
Yeah.
everything up. And, yeah, ready to go. To the guild. Wait,
Honey Potter Guild.
question while Leon's still here. My friend. Yes, you. What are your means to do for a living while you're trying to figure out your own issues?
What are my means to my?
To live in. I know you ain't got much.
Do you have a home?
Yeah, I'm back at my village in Eotris.
I'm talking about.
Do you have a job?
Would you like to make some coin and maybe find out what's going on there?
Sure, if you're inviting me to join you.
That's what I wanted to make sure before we left. Everybody gets up.
I'm still a little troubled on the whole people in contact with the root turning into zombies thing, though.
We'll get more into that once we get to the honey pot.
We stopped at A-Town. We could do it again.
Speaking of,
They were sick for a while. They hadn't turned into zombies, but
you do intend to return the head and the root, correct?
I'm already.
They already
You
gave
already
you
have that.
They gave.
Yeah, we
they
did the
gave the
first
head
time
back.
we were
Okay.
back.
Yeah,
the
he's
root
got his
root.
root
Okay.
done.
So
So
here,
nix the head. Just
here, I'll give you one of the samples that I have for the root.
any root is fine.
Use this instead.
Thank you. Well, look at that. Fancy that you get to keep your own.
yeah, that is kind of nice.
Yay, I get my own belongings.
So, make short of it here, Patch. I think what we're all trying to say is it would be a lot more convenient for all of us if you just worked with us.
Yeah, I'm down with that. It'd make things easier for me too, as I've already seen. I can't seem to do this by myself.
Why do I picture Patch as kind of a country boy?
You know what? He was modeled originally, and I've decided on the accent. You've ever been on Splash Mountain?
Oh yeah,
The Briar
Briar Rabbit. Yep, I knew it.
Patch O'Brien.
I knew it. I knew it.
That's
Yeah,
great.
that's exactly what I was thinking. When
Yeah.
you're coming up with that voice, I was like, that's what that's reminding me of.
I was like,
Yeah.
do I make it up? Yeah, you know what?
Yeah, go for
Southern's the only accent I can do.
Well, I don't speak for all of us, but I speak for a good portion after what we went through and how we found you. Simply is keep yourself safe, keep each other safe,
I'll do my best.
get jobs done, and in the end, we'll always be sort of a tight-knit family here and there.
I do enjoy making new friends, so
Right,
here's
Cole?
to that.
Oh, speaking of which, sorry that the dwarf threatened to kill you 4 times.
It's not the first time it's happened. Mom was very upset about
No,
that.
this is the 4th time.
Okay.
Well,
Upset about
I'm
I'm
that.
sure it won't be the last either.
Yeah, it's a normal
Stay
occurrence.
safe. You don't want nothing else happening.
You must well tell her.
I mean, you also kind of said it.
And Patch, I hardly know
Oh.
you, but I'd
Yeah, I gotta
like
keep
to
up appearances.
see you safe tomorrow as well.
Besides, you're not a
I
demon.
appreciate that, and I would like to see you safe as well. You are incredibly persistent.
That's a way of phrasing it. A bit too kind for my liking, but a way of phrasing it.
Well, we head now.
I can respect.
What time? It's like getting close to nighttime.
It's probably about 7:30.
So
Yeah,
should
I'm
we
ready for
head
dinner.
to the honey pot, camp out there for the night, and then head to the guild in the morning?
That works. We can do guild in the morning, swing by, see him. I can pick up my statue. And then
Honey.
Sure. I guess the guild doesn't care when they get their money.
So, unless there's anything in particular you are planning to do for this evening, other than you, we always know what you're going to do.
No, it's slightly
No.
different.
Segs.
So, unless there's anything anyone else is planning on doing for the evening, we'll go to whatever it is Percy is planning on, or whoever it is Percy is planning on seducing.
Alright.
You go
I'm
back
gonna
in, Jonathan.
sneak away for a moment and plop that or read the outside first. I'll plop
Read the
that.
outside first.
Yeah, on the bed, and make myself sparse.
And whose bed?
It's for me to know.
And for Jason to find out.
Huh? I'm so fucking confused.
Okay.
So it's either it's
Jonathan.
So
it's Jonathan. Or
you
Logan.
guys are enjoying dinner.
Yep.
Still at the.
Okay.
Yeah.
And like I said, anything else anyone wants or needs to do before bed?
It's been a while since I had a nice meal like this.
Just some casual conversation. Well, we got a big day ahead of us tomorrow. Do you think the demons still Probably you.
No, I raised my hand to talk. Sorry.
I thought you were saying.
Well,
No,
one-
no, no.
one demon is.
I see the misunderstanding. Yes, probably. I doubt he's actually gone. He seems to like playing with us.
Well, even outside of that, you clearly saw his influence today. Whoever that dwarf was. He knew about him. He knew he was here. So, I guarantee you he's still in these walls. Well, just a matter of who he is right now.
I think we just keep a close eye on anything and everything.
He's always been one step ahead of us. I'm just wondering how we can turn that around.
Oh, of course it was to Jonathan.
Kind of worried about Leon out there by himself.
I think Leon is more stronger than you think.
Well, it's not a matter of how strong he is. If that demon comes for him and him alone, he's not getting out of it. None of us are.
You're
Skill
very
issue?
happy.
Yep, just me.
You're very, very
Do I see the smile on your face?
Well, no, not.
Not until the morning.
Yeah.
So, she's not sleeping in her room. You can have her room.
I've never.
I'm good.
I never.
She doesn't
was
even have
owned
a room.
Oh yeah, you don't have
Not once have I ever checked out a
No.
room.
That's
Nope.
right.
She never has.
She just don't worry
Turn
about
on a black light and the whole room lights up.
it. Don't worry, she's something else.
Noted.
Noted.
They say that
Rabbits like to multiply.
What do you mean I'm staying
Here.
away?
I'll give you
That is
this.
a stereotype, sir.
Hey, you into furries?
I promise.
no.
I promise my room's clean. Take mine. I'll sleep in Ajax's. And we did that at Gold's room.
No, not
What?
all of them.
Oh, what?
Alright, I'm definitely going to Leon now.
I was gonna
I
say,
like 2 gold on the table and I head out.
Alright,
I was
so you
actually
go hang
going
out
to
with Leon.
Yeah.
Alright.
I'm gonna go
join
hang out
in
with
that
Leon.
endeavor since I had started that with him. And
So you're heading over there too?
yeah,
Alright.
Well, fuck it. Guess we're all going except for you know who. Let's just.
Yeah. No. You got your business going on.
Can I wave over Jonathan?
He ain't there.
He's not there. Can I wave over somebody that would?
Maxwell's there.
Yeah, I'll talk to Maxwell.
Alright. Yes, sir. Tell me. What can I do?
Hey Maxwell, Persephone's staying back.
Okay.
Just keep an eye on her. Just keep an eye and listen.
I don't really want to watch whatever she's doing.
Well, no. We all understand that. I'm just saying.
My wife would not approve.
Yeah, I get that. Just keep an eye on if anything suspicious, just tracking her or something like that. We just can't.
I have no worries. I keep a tight ship.
And when you get a chance, tell Jonathan I'm looking for him.
Will do. I believe he is off. I will tell him in the morning when I see him.
Alright. You sure coming with us isn't gonna fuck with your plans tomorrow?
No, because if we. Either way, I gotta go towards that direction to go to the frickin' woodman's shop.
No, you probably have 20 more.
okay, I was going to say 10, but I'll take 20.
Yep, 20 is
Alright.
fine.
So I'm either
You're
way,
level 6,
I gotta
you
go
need
to the
level
wood shop
extra.
that's next to where he's gonna be at.
Not much extra, but
Well, fuck it. If
I
it's
was
not
gonna say
that
he
late, I might
didn't
as well stop
really
by the
have
guild.
a job. They
exactly.
Fuck it,
That's
guild
good
stop.
stuff.
probably found it along with
Hey.
his travel.
Mhm. Or used a little bit of
Help
his
someone.
druid skills and
With
spells
Leon's
to help
easy
others
enough.
to.
Like,
Yeah.
I think
to
Persephone
get
would
a
really
little
take
coin
that
here and
personally.
there.
What do you have in mind?
What do I have?
Well, it's kind of hard to pull a break on her. She doesn't have anything that she cares about.
All right, so you guys are hanging out with Leon for the evening. Anything in particular you're doing, or are you just gonna like hang out?
Fucking play cards with the boys.
Okay. All right.
Bring a bottle of
So-
booze, we're hanging out on the roof.
So nothing happens really during the night.
Okay.
Everyone gets a full night's rest, long rest. You all wake up in the morning. It is now the morning. It is a little bit early, so the council chamber is not open just yet. But you can get yourself a breakfast at one of the cafes nearby.
Right.
Again, this is Northgate. A little bit expensive for the meals yesterday and this breakfast this morning. You're not looking at really, really high-end places, but you still spend a good amount of gold on
Give me a
basically about
price.
3 meals. 20 gold for you. And for the rest of you, you had lunch there. You had dinner at the Honey Pot, so you're good there. And then you're having breakfast here, so it's about 12 for each of you guys.
I ate very cheap for what it's worth because
I'll give you 8.
I did not have lunch with him when I met at the temple. I probably just got something small.
That's true, you didn't. So you did not have lunch. So you only had breakfast, so you spent 6.
Works for me.
I drank water and just had the chips they bring out before the meal.
Yeah, so you spent 8 in total.
So
It's expensive at Northgate.
Leon,
That's a
what
lot
time
of money,
your
actually.
Appointment with the council member.
I believe it was midday.
Midday.
so
I think I may have enough time to run down to the guild and back.
well, the thing is, we got to put him on the contract now.
I'd like to go with you. I'd like to see the inside.
All right.
I've seen a few of them, but never been in one.
He'll be fine.
So you guys head that way?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll go.
Okay. Yeah, you've got plenty of time to do so. So
Bye,
you,
Leon.
so you head down.
Have a
For the
beautiful
third
day.
time this session.
I'll see you like in
Yeah.
2 seconds.
So you head down over to the Freelancers Association. Wow, this is big. This is the first time you've seen this place. It is opulent. It is big. On this place, they went a little bit gaudy when it comes to stuff. The doors are huge, wooden doors, but they have like gold and silver trim on them and decorations. Yeah, it's gorgeous. It's gorgeous to look at. And when you walk up to the double doors and they open up, you walk in, it is a grand open central hall leading up to a reception desk at the end. It is probably a good 60 feet from that door to that reception desk, and it is a vaulted ceiling, wide hall. And on the sides you see there are a couple things like boards, like cork boards basically, that have like job postings of various kinds, things like that there. There's also some columns in here for support and some decorations. There's some seatings along the side and to relax and stuff.
Is there any cool looking things like on display? Just
Not in
around?
this area. Not in
My
this area.
character, I think Patch is just looking around while like, whoa, what's that? What's that? Just,
Yeah. It almost looks like kind of like this grand cathedral, like a church, where there's not a lot of decoration other than the architecture itself.
This Patch comes from is very homely, so it's
Yes, it is a big
crazy
difference.
fancy.
It is a big difference, but there's not a lot of kitsch stuff there. There's no pieces of flair just hanging out.
I can touch that I'm not supposed to be touching.
Not really. But as Gold and Tomer kind of lead you up to the front reception desk, 60 feet from the main door, you see there is an elf there. There is also a fairly large human there. The large human is sitting down. He is over on the right-hand side as you're looking at him. And then there's the elf standing there on the left-hand side. And they're probably a good 10, 15 feet apart on this very large countertop type reception desk. And Gold and Tomer kind of make a beeline for the elf.
Aiden,
Ah, how are you doing today, Sir Tomer?
a lot better than yesterday.
Yes, anything of import? How goes your job? I know you guys are on a quest, yes? You have taken an assignment?
We finished it. Let's just say we were a party of 5 yesterday and became a party of 4.
Oh dear. That is, I am sorry to hear that.
But here's the paperwork.
Who, may I ask, did you lose? I don't see your tiefling or elf,
I'm just gonna point to
or that fearful character.
I'm gonna point to his giant ball that I'm wearing on the back end right now.
Ah, I see. Give me a moment. He goes through, kind of digging around, and something underneath the counter comes out with some paperwork. Files through and says, Blue Devils. Goes through. A sad day when one passes. And he makes a line through Ajax's name. I apologize, and I'm sorry for your loss. What can I do today?
Well, since you already have the contract out for our team, we would like to sign up a new member, Patch, who would be joining our team as our 5th.
Nice to meet you.
And a pleasure to meet you. I am Aiden. Aiden
Patch.
LaRue.
I hold out my hand.
And he reaches out and shakes it. He says, it's a pleasure to meet you.
Well met.
Yes, thank you. Well, welcome to the Freelancers Association. You obviously have sponsorship from Blue Devils. Fortunate, you are being brought into a double A rated group.
Is that good?
It's pretty good.
Obviously,
Right on.
obviously, you will be under observation initially to verify your skills are comparable to your compatriots. However, with their voucher, I believe that that shall be a formality. If you would,
Fair
and he
enough.
kind of turns the paperwork around and says, "Please," and hands you a quill. Sign right here. Okay. And then he spins it back around, looks, and says, "All is in order." You are double A, and considering the loss of a present companion, refilling the position, shall we say, there is no charge. And again, I'm sorry to hear of your loss. If there is anything that we can do, please let us know.
Well, since we're talking about business now, here is the paperwork for our last job, and then here's our payment. I don't know how much the guild takes from it.
Yeah, they take their portion. You guys end up with 3,000. They had their portion was
So 3,000 divided by 5.
yep, so 600 each.
Everybody gets 600 gold.
Oh, I couldn't possibly take that.
Patch. Take it.
Oh, I appreciate it.
Pretty much double the gold.
Okay.
I think that's 600.
Now, Leon, as they made their way to the guild and everything, and working out these details, it's a decent little track to get there and back. By the time things come around, it is time for your appointment.
Yay.
Councilman Antoinette.
Give me a moment. Alright, I'm good.
Okay.
Bad stretching here. Alright, so go ahead, describe.
So as you enter in to the council chambers, and go ahead and switch over. Alright, as you enter into the council chambers, Leon, my boy, you shall see that in here there are several offices.
And not anymore.
Come on, scroll down here. There are several offices that line each wall, 5 on each side to be exact. I don't know if I'm showing that. That is very weird. Okay. Giving it a moment because I don't know why it is showing that. It is showing for some reason the intro video, which there's no reason for it to show.
Do that thing. What are you doing?
Okay. I apologize, don't know why it showed that intro video. There's no reason it should have showed that, but whatever. Okay, so that's done. Anyway, you enter into the council chamber. As you enter into the council chamber, there are 5 offices on the right, 5 offices on the left, and you are directed to the second office on the right-hand side, which is Councilman Antoinette's office. And as you enter there, you find yourself in a very simply appointed office with a nice rug, 2 chairs, a couple bookshelves, what looks to be some kind of filing cabinet, a very nice desk, and a chair. And then in this chair sits sits a woman, and it won't actually sit in the chair at this point. So sits a woman with long blonde hair, human, and she welcomes you in and kind of gestures towards a seat. It says, "Hello, how can I help you?" And she appears to be in probably her mid to late 40s.
Alright. Councilwoman Antoinette, correct?
Councilman, it is a title, not a statement of gender.
My apologies. I'm Thancred, and I have some concerns I would like to bring up about the current state of Kyber.
Yes, as is many of our meetings are about concerns of the citizens. How can I help you?
Well, first and foremost, I think there is a threat to normalcy at large that is quickly sowing its roots throughout the world. And I can vouch that myself, I have seen these roots spread in Kyber, and not much has been done about them outside of my own influence. Not that I know of. This is when I take out the actual root,
Okay.
and place it on her desk. And so like open up a pouch or some kind of wrapping or whatever.
It's in a little vial.
Yeah,
Mhm.
show it to her and say, this here, it is of a demonic origin.
May I?
Yes, of course.
She grabs the vial from you as you hand it to her and takes a look at it. You can see the look on her face. She kind of looks at it curiously, like, what the fuck is this thing?
Yeah. It may just look like some kind of odd plant to you, but I can assure you it is much more deadly. Already, town of... what was its name?
Woodhurst.
Woodhurst, thank you. The small town of Woodhurst has been completely wiped off the map due to its influence.
did have reports, and she starts digging in her desk, pulling out, and she's got some papers in here. And she starts
That was one
digging.
of her first
She
questions.
starts digging through them, looking through. Ah, yes, here. I did have reports some almost a month past of no contact from Rehearsed. Caravan's not reporting anything from there.
I take it the guild would have informed you, but I guess not.
No, sadly, the communication between the guild and the government is a bit lacking. They tend to stick towards their business and do not share as much as we would like.
Well then, to digress, I suppose I should say that maybe a first order of business would be to establish a better connection between the guild and the actual seat of government within this city.
It has been attempted in the past, however, private companies, and the public government, things are difficult. I shall say that.
Well then I'm sure you agree with my sentiment here that you can't have your fighting done by sellswords. The security of the city should not be dependent on the coin of private employers.
The security of the city is not dependent on private employers. That is merely a business designed to extract coin from those needing specific services that the funding that we have does not provide for. As far as basic security, we have more than enough for what is needed to keep the city at least at a base level of safety. Unfortunately, of course, I do agree, always could have more. But
I disagree with your statement on the
as the
security.
count says, bleeding the citizens dry of funds in order to increase programs here and the number of guardsmen and things like that would be counterproductive to their safety. If they have no money and cannot eat, then having a few more guardsmen here and there would serve no real purpose.
I'll get back to you on that point in a moment. I'd like to continue on the route if possible.
What would you have me do with this?
Well, I have yet to inform you about its danger. I've told you about the disappearance of Woodhurst, but what significance is this route? Well, the town and all of its inhabitants completely converted to undead, mindless, roaming zombies. Of course, according to you, the guild will not let you hear of this. I think that is a most egregious mistake on both you and the guild's part. This kind of communication is necessary.
Are you making an accusation into the council's ability to run the city and protect it?
I'm merely pointing out a flaw I see. Whose fault it is doesn't matter. The fact that it happened in the first place should be remedied.
Should be and the means to be are two different matters.
Regardless, I know not the means which you possess. I have only a vague idea what this council is capable of. I'm hoping to glean a bit of information from this meeting here. Although, so far I'm getting the feeling you wouldn't like to disclose quite what you're capable of and instead deflect to the guild.
I'm sensing animosity. At the outset here, I am doing my best to be forthcoming with information.
Alright, my apologies. Now, this was Woodhurst. But here in Kyver, there are shipments being delivered to and from other parts of our world.
What, shipments of what?
Of this substance.
Really?
Most
Have you
notably,
proof of this?
actually, I have to think on this because the information about the logs is not actually information I obtained legally.
Exactly.
Oops.
Uh-oh.
Should have disguised yourself when you went in.
I don't have that magic.
I mean, like, actually put something over you like a mask or something. Not that they'd let you walk in with that specific.
Right.
They're gonna let
That was a
Batman
good
walk
thing.
into a courtroom.
Nah.
And be like, "Justice."
Where's the councilman?
Papa Perky, go retard. I'm sorry, I love that video. Okay, it is under my suspicion that the Etruscan is transporting these goods. I do not have concrete evidence, other than my word, which I can say I have seen these shipments on my own, coming into the harbor.
My word's good.
So you say the Etruscan.
I expect my word is not enough, which is precisely why I mean to urge you to launch a full-scale investigation into the harbor and the docks.
A full-scale investigation may not be something that we can do at this time without additional evidence or proof that something is going on. However, I will have someone look into it and see what we can dig up. While it may not be as extensive as you wish, if we do find something that warrants further investigation, we will, as needed, put as many resources as is necessary towards it. However, at this time, it will be a minor thing, as putting too many personnel towards something that we are simply taking on the word of a citizen who shows up with a strange plant and merely their, shall we say, their energy and verve about such a topic is not something to spend the populace's coin on in great amounts until we have further proof.
I understand that you are doing only your job, and I must reiterate, I apologize for my hostilities. I've been told that my way of dealing with business is rather crude.
Apologies not needed. I understand frustration.
I wish there was more that could be done, and I know that passion alone cannot kindle the flames of action, especially not in bureaucratic systems.
Such is the unfortunate nature of things.
And so, if you cannot take action based on my word alone...
I am not saying that action will not be taken.
Hear me out. I understand. Minimal action will be taken. It is not an utmost priority. However, what I'm trying to get at is that I do not entirely blame you for lack of proof of undead.
We didn't burn them after all.
We did very well. And with that, well, I would like to present you with something else.
Oh.
I assume I'll be kicked out for this, but
She raises her elbows.
I pull out the head, placing it on the desk.
Oh, dear God.
And
I
I
don't
show-
know why that did that little transition. That was weird.
And I show the fangs. I am sure you are familiar with what a vampire is. I put it back. Just to show these are not telltales that I've fabricated.
I have heard of such things, however, never seen one. Please. Oh.
I bring this up because you've stated that you believe security within the city is doing enough. And I highly disagree. This was within our own walls. Eastgate.
And where is the proof of that?
I suppose I traveled
I'm-
all the way from
I
Beatrice.
apologize, but I do not know you from Adam. You come into my office on a meeting, present me a plant, head of some vile creature
The governess
Claim.
of Heimstead.
claim that these things are in our city.
They would
See it,
recognize the
please.
governance, right?
Not necessarily.
Okay,
She
fair enough.
might not.
Alright.
Claim that these are in our city. Now see it from my point of view. As I do not know who you are, as this is the first time we have met, is it not possible that someone could come from outside the city, for whatever reason, wishing to do harm to our great city, bring such grotesque things and make claims all for their own purposes, whatever they may be, divining coin from us, or favor, or whatnot? I do not know. You present me little proof that this is actually something that happened in Kaiva. Now, I have already promised I shall do some investigation. I shall put people on this. However, bringing vile things into the council chambers in an attempt to sway our decisions as to what we shall or shall not pay attention to, without proof that it is truly within our city and something that we should be concerned with, I find that to be a tad distasteful.
I call it diplomacy.
I call it disgusting.
I call it justice.
And you haven't lived in this city long enough.
How
I
could you
have
prove
lived
that,
here
though?
my whole life.
Then you're ignorant.
I think it is time for you to leave.
I agree. I thank you for this meeting. I hope that my lack of pragmatism has been ever a thorn in this council's neck. I'll be back
It
if I don't
has
see
since
change.
this moment, and your lack of decorum shall see you escorted out. Security! A few moments later,
W!
two very large individuals. One, not a Goliath, but potentially, if such a thing would exist, and such a thing would be called as, is a half Goliath. There's clearly some kind of Goliath blood in them, but they are not a Goliath.
Right.
And just another very large human come up, dressed in very fine-looking outfits,
Mm-hmm.
but clearly there is a well-done studded leather armor covering their chests and upper arms, as well as greaves. Okay. Walk up and say, "Yes, Councilwoman. Please escort this gentleman off the premises. If he wishes to return in a more civilized time and manner, he may make an appointment. However, he will be searched upon entry next time. Is that understood?" "Yes, Councilwoman." They lean down. One puts a hand on, one of each puts a hand on each of your shoulders. It's like, time to go.
I said no touching.
I don't resist.
Okay? They walk you out. They're not forceful or like not mean about it.
Right.
They're just doing their job. They take you out to the front steps. And you are then basically just kind of looked at as they stand on either side of the double doors, just looking at you. As you are there.
Yeah. And following this, I walk away, right? And make it a point to find a spot tucked away where I can continue to spy on the council
Okay.
area until Miss Antoinette makes her exit.
Okay. And while you are sitting there,
Spying. It's called spying.
while you are sitting there spying and or stalking, whatever it is.
Yes. She's so pretty for a
it is-
40-year-old woman.
No,
Why
she's
can I
fairly,
have
she's
G
a
when
fairly
I can have a
attractive-
her?
Yeah, she's a fairly attractive woman. Yeah, but while you are sitting there observing, and the afternoon starts carrying on, eventually the rest of the party joins you. As they join you, that is where we're gonna end.
No, come on!
It is getting late, and unfortunately, poor Clammy Clam needs to get back home. I will say though, Patch, Leon, Persephone, all of you are getting a point of inspiration, and everyone is getting 1 point of inspiration. So you guys actually get 2 in total. But I really enjoyed some of the things you guys were doing in specific, so
wanna see what the
that's
hammer
why you're getting
does.
an extra one.
Come on!
Awesome, thanks.
But that will be it for tonight. Thank you all for watching. We hope you had a great time. I hope to see you tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the live interview of Aegis, the director from RPG Stories, as I ask him questions about RPG Stories, about their Kickstarter, about things like, okay, why did they put certain stretch goals where they did, all that kind of stuff. And he's going to demonstrate some of the features, and we're going to talk about those. And then you guys can ask questions in chat that you want me to ask him, so we can get information about RPG Stories and learn more about it and have some fun while we're doing it. So come check that out tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Also check out next week, September 16th at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for episode 19 of Atavar Ascension, and we'll keep you informed on it. May or may not have episode 3 of Magnum Avis this Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, but we'll post that up when we get a definitive on that, so we'll let you know. But other than that, hope you guys had a fun time. I know I did. Hope you guys did.
I enjoyed being an asshole to a council.
I wanted the thunder!
We'll see you guys all next time.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Hey, have a beautiful time.